Wait.
Welcome to the Snark Tank Podcast. Hope you're all doing well. It's me, Chris Raygun. It's him, Tom Sweeney. It's him, Derek, a black person. Look at him. Look at him with his little Oni mask.
Forgiven us.
You better be fucking careful with that shit. You got to be careful with that shit. That shit can be how much did that cost you? How much was that mask?
150 bones.
Oh damn! So that's like not even like a joke. That's
no. This is like I invested because I was like I need real shit, not some rubber fake bullshit. Yeah.
So that's like a genuine
mask.
150,
dude.
That's more than I've spent on condoms my whole life, bro. That's crazy.
Dude, that's potentially a haunted mask. So you got to be fucking careful with that shit. I would be
worried if it wasn't. It was customized in Southeast Asia, but if it was in like some
a lot of ghosts.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, a lot of
people have died. A lot of have died all over the world. Just saying.
Yeah, a lot of war casualty ghosts. Probably it's actually way more haunted because you know how people always say Native American burial grounds are like haunted and shit. So like, it's probably just as bad over there actually.
I feel like they're not haunted. I feel like everybody there is just like, I'm just dead now. Let me be.
I'm just dead.
They're definitely absolutely haunted.
I don't think they're
absolutely haunted. 1,000,000%. There's Wendigos
I've
running around. Every time I've been to cemeteries at night, and let me tell you, there's like I have never been to a cemetery at night and not seen at least 5 Wendigos.
That's insane.
Like
Wendigos aren't even haunting creatures. That's what makes it even like. What are you experiencing? Wendigos are just people that ate other people. That's it. They're not even like spirits. They're just monsters.
But then there's always like every time I see one, there's always a ghost that whispers to me. He's like, "Did you see that Wendigo?"
Yo, dude, you said
like and then I run away.
The idea of that ghost, like, yo, did you say that fucking Wendigo? I'm out of here, dude. And it runs off.
Yo, the idea of a ghost being afraid of anything is, I love that idea.
I've definitely been to like graveyards at nighttime, and they're eerie, but they're not really.
Who are
scary.
you with? Who were you with when you did that?
Like this, it's been friends.
Obviously a white woman. Obviously a white woman.
Yeah, like white people.
Obviously
right?
a white woman.
Oh yeah, obviously. When in my dumber days, when I was trying to make an older situation work, yes, it was with a white woman. Now I don't. Now I'm like, oh no. Like if Lily asked me to do that, I'd leave her. I'd be like, wow, that's crazy. You were almost forever, and then I would just leave.
You were almost forever.
I've definitely kicked over tombstones. Definitely stole their flowers. Definitely dug people bodies up, slapped the bodies around a few times. Like, look at this, taking selfies. I've done all that shit, man. There's no unhaunted.
You dug them up and slapped the bodies.
What kind of menace, dude?
I love how there's nothing more disrespectful than slapping something. There's something about it that is just disrespectful.
I've gone to wakes and I've open hand slapped the fucking the body and viewing. Everybody's getting mad. I'm like, shut the fuck up if I do it again. They get you mad. I do it again.
Do it again. Yeah. Me and my bro, we have fond memories of tag teaming. I don't know if you ever heard of the Dudley Boys. They have this like finishing move called the Dudley Death Drop. Just do a 3D and fucking just over the coffin and snap it in half. Those were good days, man. Those were good days.
Oh yeah.
Me and my bro have kind of grown apart since then. We probably need to crash another funeral and like get back together. You know what I mean? Get the band back together.
What kind of creature does that? Like what kind of person goes to funerals and they just like, I'm gonna disrespect this person,
a model
this
citizen.
person that I don't even know. I never met this person ever in my life. They've never bothered me. But
what
I'm
person,
bored.
Kingston? There's no person. It's just a box with lifelessness in it.
But the being that's willing to disrespect, not the fucking. What do they call? What's the new word I found out about? A new version for a body called It's another synonym for fucking like a dead body. What was it called? Let me look at the word.
Like a slang term for dead body?
No, it's an official term, but it sounds funny.
Okay.
Cadaver?
Yes.
What?
Yes. Cadaver.
That's not a new phrase.
That's what I found out. I found out cadaver recently because
you didn't.
Yeah,
There's
I did.
No
recently.
way you did.
Like maybe it was in like the last like 3 or 4 years. I never heard cadaver before. I've heard cadaver before. I never really knew what it meant. Cause I didn't know it meant a body. Because
cadaver.
Cadaver. Listen. Cadaver is such a cadaver doesn't sound like it's an object, and there's nothing personable about it anymore. When you say, "Oh, go get the cadaver, put it in a room," that doesn't sound like you're talking about a human's body. It sounds so detached from it.
I mean, I get that's so fucking funny to me that you've never heard that.
I've probably heard it, but I never really put two and two together. The thing that really gets me, because cadaver is not a common English word.
No, you don't hear cadaver often. The thing that gets me about it is that surely is that not like, at the very least, like a D&D or that doesn't come up in like fantasy talk at all. Like,
no,
I don't know.
People don't. Because that is a word, that is an official word, right? But you don't hear cadaver. You don't hear people say that. People say dead body. That's what people say. People don't say cadaver.
I don't know. I feel like I've heard. That's surprising to me. Anyway, I mean,
people say cadaver. People have said it. Yeah, people say cadavers, especially people say cadaver when they're referring to moving a dead body. They refer to move a cadaver. Like people that are like doing mortuary work.
It is interesting that somehow you never made the connection you've heard it, but you never, because it's like it's one of those things where I feel like I never. In that context
only usually. When I found out what it meant, I was like, oh, definitely that's what it means.
That is so interesting because I just, for as long as I can remember watching, but it's probably also has to do with watching. I used to watch SVU when I was young, and then there's also there was a death metal band called Wake in the Cadaver. That I don't know. I can't remember actually learning it, but I will say
I love that word.
I've heard it a lot in horror movies and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I've heard words when I was young. I remember juxtaposition was a word that I heard a lot, but I never even bothered to look it up. And then it's like when I paid attention to her, I'm like, I don't exactly know what that means, but I've heard it enough in context where I think I know what it means. Because it's just that is a weird sounding fucking word to me.
It is.
It sounds like tricky. I don't know. It sounds, like a gesture. It almost sounds like it would be tied to some. Good.
The word in and of itself almost sounds like a juxtaposition. You know what I mean? Because it's like you have the word position,
yeah,
which is like a completely normal word, and then you have juxto, which is like, what the fuck? That's not in anything. That's that sound doesn't exist in anything, so it's kind of a
doesn't
perfect
it sound like
word
a clown or something? Like it would be like a medieval gesture.
That was
juxto.
Another word that I juxto the jester.
Hey, they throw shit at him and stuff, and the fucking.
I'm sort of in between these things. I'm compared to these things.
That's so dumb. That's the worst possible entertainment gimmick I've ever heard for fucking anybody. I'm juxto the jester. Watch me put two things that shouldn't be together. It's insane.
That really rolls off the tongue, though, don't it? Though, juxto the jester.
Yeah. I could see that on a sign, a big sign.
For me, the word homologous. I didn't know that word. I knew that word before I knew the word analogous. Because homologous and analogous kind of mean the same thing.
I actually don't think I've ever heard somebody use that word.
Homologous? That's in science. That's why.
Yeah, I've never heard
homologous in bio.
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, I know what you're. Yeah, I haven't heard this. I haven't heard this word since fucking definitely high school. But
we're like, oh, that's homologous, and people say analogous, and I was like, don't you mean? Because I didn't know analogous. I didn't know what analogous meant, and I thought it meant the other one of the opposite homologous.
Yeah,
I forgot what that word means.
Homologous is analogous, but gay.
In bio.
yeah, exactly.
Which is funny because analogous is just anal. But I don't know, what the fuck are we talking? We gotta look.
Anal goose.
First of all,
anal goose.
First of all, anal goose. Hey, first of all, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays to y'all people out there. Thank you for being listeners, especially you long time niggas. We're hopping in. We're close to for 4 years of this shit, which sounds insane to me. It's something that I'm like, wait, we've been doing this for almost 4 fucking years.
That doesn't sound right to like that happened.
It
Like,
doesn't.
same thing. Same thing happened with Sacred, where it's like, hey, we're doing like we've done this for 5 years, and it's like, how is that fucking possible? But whatever. I mean, I guess we're here. We've consistently had our biggest month on Patreon every month for the last like few months, which is fucking.
I needed to
awesome.
log into the Patreon for whatever reason. I can't remember why. And when I saw the number, like my eyes were like, "What?" Like
It's wild, man. It's wild.
It's so fucking awesome.
It's
Where I'm
truly
like, oh.
it's truly insane.
Yeah.
You know, we've got a
I don't
great
respect any
audience,
of you
and
guys, though, for real. Like, I appreciate what you guys give me, but I don't respect any of you. In fact, you guys should be giving me more.
I've never had somebody undercut what I was trying to say so quickly and so immediately in such a specific way. It's crazy.
I'm tired of people giving.
I can't speak for Kingston. I would never wish to.
You
We're
don't-
long
don't you
beyond
dare.
those days. But all I would like to say is I really appreciate you guys. I don't even care that you guys are homeless. It does bother me a little bit. I'm not gonna pretend like it doesn't. Like I think about it sometimes. I'm like, I try to leave that information out when I tell people about you guys. I leave the homelessness kind of like on the side because it's fucking embarrassing, quite frankly. But you know, we still appreciate your support. We still appreciate your support, and you know, we've like I said, just the fact that every month for the last several months has been our biggest month yet, and it just seems to keep going up is fucking crazy. It's also very confusing because the subscriber number for the YouTube channel goes down constantly. So like I don't understand what it doesn't seem to make sense at all.
YouTube,
like it's
man.
like, okay, we make more money and we get more viewers, but also we lose subscribers. I don't get it. I don't know. Maybe YouTube's being weird. But
YouTube is absolutely being weird. I'll just leave it at that. It is. I've had that problem. A lot of people have had that same fucking problem. Even when they've seen. I have one time. I just want to say real quick, actually, before you move on, because I'm glad you brought this up because it upset me so much that after years of suffering that with my main channel, one person in the support team was actually told me the truth, and no one ever again. And they said, "You have too many yellow dollar signs. When this happens, your shit goes into algorithmic abysses. It starts it fucks your channel up." And I was
that
like,
makes perfect sense.
Like,
that makes fucking perfect sense because I think we have maybe 3 green videos in the entirety of this channel. I think maybe 3 episodes of this podcast are monetized, and that's it. Because immediately, right off the bat, everything that we talk about is so fucked. There's usually an N-word in the first 10 seconds, and obviously. Yeah, okay, that makes perfect sense. So YouTube is just, man, maybe I should just like restart my original channel then too, because that's definitely happening with my original channel as well. Because there's too
it's
many
something
yellow dollar
where
signs.
I think here's the problem with that. I think the only way you can actually fix it is that there has to be intervention from their side. Like they have to give you a clean slate because you've already been marked. For example, you know, I figured out. Here's a sad fucking thing where people. There were some people that were being like, "Oh man, your main channel is completely dead." And I'm like, "Yeah, I know, but you know what's fucked up? I'm right now with this podcast, I'm making more money than I ever did with my main channel because my main channel was so fucked from the very get-go when I started comparing money with people. Like here, I always use this as an example. December 2016 was a huge month for a lot of people in the community, SJ, anti, whatever. I know some people that made upwards of 10s to 20,000s, whatever. We had similar numbers in views. I made less than $3,000. And that was an amazing month for me. And so when I started learning there was people making like upwards of this type of money and this and their AdSense, I'm like, oh, my channel's been fucking dead since 2015 because of some of the subjects I talked about. Like Islamic terrorism and blah, 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 and some other shit that I was talking about. And they just immediately were like, this guy's not cool to fucking make money.
Yeah, they ravaged you.
And so
they ravaged you.
100%. So I was like, me losing all this views and all this shit on my main channel, it really didn't mean anything to me because I was only advertising I was making money through that. And once they went away, I'm like, I have no reason to fucking upkeep this channel anymore. It makes no difference to me.
It's just so crazy to me that like the channel keeps losing, but like the show is. It's so interesting to me that like the show's making more money, it's getting more viewers, it's getting more listeners, it's getting more downloads, but then the subscriber
doesn't
count
make
goes
sense.
down because because the algorithmic abyss. That's so weird. It's like why?
Yes, 100%.
That's what I really don't like about YouTube is, especially now, is that it's not even really representative. Like I put it this way a long time ago, but if a video fails, it's not even because the video, you can't even know for sure if it's, is it because the video's bad? Is it because the site is broken? Is it because the site is working as intended and it's just built in a stupid way? Like there used to be a really clear defining understanding of like why something would fail. If your video didn't hit, it's because it just wasn't good or people didn't care about it. There was like an actual connecting line between how good something was and how interesting something was to the audience versus how well it did. And now that kind of doesn't exist at all. Now it doesn't matter if the thing is good or if the audience responds well to it or if it's really engaging to people. If people are willing to pay money for it. Because if your channel has this many fucking yellow dollar signs attributed to it, it will actively work against that content for no reason. So it's just like it's a fucking annoying platform. It's really stupid.
It's terrible. And the only thing I've seen to counteract it even at all is and which you can't do with a podcast format is you have to change titles, change stuff. You have to continuously fuck with things to get people to return to the video, to trick the algorithm to be like, oh, this video must be really interesting because X, Y, and Z keep returning to this video, and they'll try to boost in the algorithm. So if you've noticed, there's a lot of people nowadays that will change their thumbnail like almost like 3 times in a month and change the title to almost like
it's wild.
Make
Seeing
it almost like
thumbnails is crazy, dude.
Yeah, but you
When I
can't
first
do
saw
that with
that,
the
I was like,
podcast. Not really. I mean, you can change the picture within it, but you're not going to change the number of the episode. You can't really change the fucking title. Not really. It's not really good to do with the podcast. So it's just it is what it is. I think there's not much that can be done other than if we specifically, and we've talked about doing this before, putting the clips on the channel, putting clips on that channel specifically to just start shitting stuff out. And then the algorithm be like, oh, they're really active. Maybe we should fucking. It's just like it's gay. That's all. It's stupid. You have to play a fucking game.
I'm already at the point where we could just not put shit on YouTube. That's where I've been there for a while. I've already been there for a while. I know we would
lose a significant amount of people. Now I know, like, say,
you know what's crazy? I feel like we'd lose no money, but I feel like we would lose. People wouldn't see the podcast, and that's not fair to those people. That is where I stand on it. That's where I'm at. Where I'm like, we shouldn't just take it away from some people because some people watch it on YouTube. You know, so
if there was a way, if there was a way to put video on Spotify, that would be.
I would do that. We do that 100%.
They're working on that, I think, aren't they?
I mean, they said that fucking years ago, and I'm like, well, they're slowly rolling shit out, but not fast enough. I feel like they've had the capability to do it a long time ago, and they just kind of don't really. It's not that important to them.
Like I look at the numbers every week. Every week I look at the numbers, and I analyze the numbers, and every week it's up. It's an upward trajectory. And then you go look at YouTube and you're like this weird stagnation. And it's like, why?
YouTube is not a.
Why is it stagnant over here?
Because it's not a meritocracy at all. It just it exists almost to stifle good shit. Like it almost like it really does suck, but it's more about kid friendly content. It's like, oh well, let's 100%. Let's make a friendly vlog about fucking rainbows or something. Like it's just like that's the only shit that's even remotely profitable. Or you have a big audience that I don't know, like people like Critical have, where like it's just kind of they were already kind of huge before, and so they kind of can make it work regardless. But it's just like I don't know. But even they do like other stuff. It's like, hey, here's a comic, here's a merch line, here's like an event, here's you know what I mean. It's like you can't really just do YouTube anymore, which is lame.
Like I've been like I like a certain content, right, about like certain things. I absorb D&D content, right? I got all these names before, and then now I'm going back looking through and I'm getting all these smaller names now because now these people are part of the algorithm when these videos are made like 4 years ago. And I'm like, where was this video when I was first looking for this content? Now I find it. That's really cool. 3 years ago would have been helpful to find this as well.
You know what the answer to that is?
No clue.
You're gay. Let's move on to the. Let's move
on.
Always
I'm gay.
Big facts.
It's always I'm gay every time.
Big facts.
I saw that clip going around for some reason. I don't know why. That clip has showed up on my Instagram and on my Twitter like a million times since we posted that episode. I don't even remember what episode that's from.
I don't either.
I don't know what the fuck we were talking about, but I said something like, you know what my retort to that is? And you're like, what? And I said, you're gay. And it's just that clip. I don't remember what the fucking context was for that at all. But
not even a little bit.
we have a lot to get to today, and we do want to get to a lot of questions as well. So I do want to start with this Insomniac leak because I'm sincerely fascinated by the reaction that certain people have had to this. And for people who don't know, I mean, I don't even know how would I say something. A few days ago, at the time of recording this episode, Insomniac Games, the developer of classic Ratchet and Clank, Sunset Overdrive, and more recently the smash hit PlayStation Spider-Man, the PlayStation exclusive Spider-Man games, they were the victim of this massive data breach. Hackers somehow got their hands on an insane amount of data that they held over Sony for a $2 million ransom. These hackers were like, hey, give us the $2 million or else all this information goes out. That information including a full test build of their upcoming Wolverine game, or at least a vertical slice of it, early gameplay footage, screenshots, story spoilers, internal documents, revenue data, budgets, sales data, personal information about employees, including voice actors' passports and personal information, contracts, emails,
sex
all that
life.
kind of. It's probably a nude or two in there. I don't know if that's true.
There's a bunch of dicks. There's a bunch of images of Spider-Man's dick. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, there's a bunch of images of Spider-Man's hyper-realistic cock, and it's pronged, which is crazy. But, there's a lot of this information. There's over a terabyte of this information, right? Lots of videos of the game have leaked as well, vertical slices and stuff. It's crazy. And evidently, these people did not get that $2 million because otherwise we wouldn't be talking about this stuff. Now, leaks in and of themselves are not really anything new to the games industry. In fact, they've been astoundingly common lately. In particular, we had the Nvidia leak a few years back that kind of spoiled everything until 2025. We had the GTA 5 leaks or the GTA 6 leaks, the Capcom leak from a while back. Even just last week, there was this massive Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League leak that was being covered by fucking everybody. There was an Xbox leak, too, that detailed, what their next console was going to be in, 2026 or whatever the fuck, and, even just the design of it, patents for, controllers and stuff. There's been a lot of leaks just in the last year. And for some reason, the Insomniac leak happens. And I saw this kind of sentiment going around from people that are really big in the industry, and even some people that I, genuinely like and respect and know personally, who are talking about how, oh, well, we're not going to cover this leak because, leaks hurt the developers. And, it's not cool. They work really hard to make these games. They work really hard to put these stuff together. And the industry's been suffering an insane amount of layoffs. So, you know what? We're not going to cover the Sony leaks or the Insomniac leaks, which is as a premise and a sentiment, I get, because developers do get a lot of shit for no reason, especially when a lot of the times publishers are to blame for a lot of the shit that people blame developers for. I get that. But these same people were covering leaks the entire year gleefully, really happily, talking about how oh man, look at all these fucking Suicide Squad leaks. Oh my god, look at the Xbox leaks. But suddenly, because it's Insomniac, and because it's a PlayStation studio, and unfortunately I have put two and two together with some of these people where they have a really close relationship with Sony Studios, even specifically Insomniac, I can't help but look at that and be like, well, it kind of feels like you just don't want to upset your friends. And I get that, but maybe this isn't really what your job should be then. If you want to schmooze with these people and you want to be, of course, would I want to be friends with Sam Lake and Hideo Kojima? Abso-fucking-lutely. That'd be awesome. It'd be so sick to call these people up or talk to them whenever the fuck you wanted. But at the same time, it's doesn't that kind of, I don't know, should you be covering games in that way if that's what your goal is? I don't know. That's fucking crazy to me. because there's a lot of news here that is really fucking incredible. Like, really interesting shit. Sunset Overdrive made $567 in profit. That's crazy. That's insane. That game was so good, too.
Wait. I'm sorry. Wait. What the fuck did you just say?
Sunset Overdrive turned a profit.
Sunset Overdrive made $500 in profit, which, by the way, made more apparently than fucking the new Ratchet and Clank game. Because the new Ratchet and Clank game didn't turn a profit apparently. So like, there's just some really fucking fascinating things in there, and then obviously like the entire release schedule for the entire release schedule for Insomniac's like games leading up to 2020.
That release schedule was first of all, that release schedule was fucking absurd. That is an insane. First, so let me air out. Okay, I think that the fact that people's personal information, the fact that it was hacked and then they attempted to negotiate, that shit is super shitty and it needs to be condemned. I think the whole entire leak culture needs to be fucking quelled, and something's happened to somebody really quick. Like, some shit needs to be initiated fast, because we've developed this really bad effect where we assume we deserve to see the games before people are ready. And granted, there are sentences where there's the Halos and the lesser degree Halo.
It's not about whether we deserve to see them. It's just, it's out there and it's news.
No. But that's not what I'm getting. I'm not getting at that exactly. If it's out there, it's out there, and like what's out there, might as well see it if it's out there. But the fact that it's become so common that it's out there in general is a bit of a problem now, right? Like, leak culture has become too common. It's just too common now. It's way too common in the last 4 years.
I know what you're saying. It's just a matter, like, I don't like the clickiness that I feel from this story.
Oh, no, the click nature is stupid. Like, it's there.
It seemed, because, dude, fucking, what was it? There were, I don't know, man. The
I
idea
agree
that,
with
like,
you that, like,
suddenly,
if it's
the
out,
idea that
it's out.
suddenly, but the idea that suddenly we are like really empathetic to people in this situation, like suddenly we're like really empathetic to Insomniac for having this massive leak, because like developers want to be able to surprise people, and they don't want to show stuff before it's ready because it's not ready yet, and they want you to see their stuff when it's actually ready and when it's actually indicative of like what you're going to be seeing. And I understand that, but where was that attitude the entire last year? Where was this attitude last week when these people were covering the fucking Suicide Squad leaks in great fucking detail?
Look, I understand what you're saying.
I don't.
I agree with you.
I don't like the idea that certain people are exempt from that empathy. Like, that bothers the hell out of me. It's like, either
I agree with you.
Either you cover all these leaks.
That belief for
everyone. Let him finish, man. Let him finish, and then you go.
Either you cover all of these leaks with the understanding that it sucks for the people involved, but it's news and we'll cover it, or you have the empathetic stance where it's like, hey, listen, we understand that this is really hard on the studios, and so we're not going to cover leaks in general. That should be your only two, operating procedures as far as that goes. You can't pick and choose. And look, because like I saw Greg Miller from Kind of Funny. I know people are going to be like, oh, well, you do a podcast with Colin, Greg's old co-host. It really has nothing to do with that. I have no real negative opinion about Greg Miller at all. But I saw this thing where he's like, hey, this is really hard on Insomniac, so we're not going to cover it. And I know for a fact that Greg is in Spider-Man. There's a character in Spider-Man that he's an Easter egg in Spider-Man. And I can't help but see that and notice that, well, he's not an Easter egg in Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. He's not an Easter egg in any Xbox game. He's not an Easter egg in GTA 6, probably. He's not an Easter egg in any Capcom game, but he's an Easter egg in a Spider-Man game, and just so happens that's the one that he refuses to cover. Like, it sits really incorrectly with me. And look, I'm not saying that you have to cover every single bit of because there's information in there that has no business being shared by anybody. Like, there's no need to show like, oh, hey, it's news. Here's Yuri Lowenthal's passport. That's not fucking necessary. That's not news. That's just doxing. Like, there's nothing newsworthy that you get out of knowing what Yuri Lowenthal's passport looks like. But there's massive news to be uncovered from the fact that fucking Sunset Overdrive made $500. That is crazy, and that's fucking fascinating. Like, that's like a really interesting thing. I don't think anybody would have ever thought that was true. Or like the entire slate of their releases up to 2030, and even some things about that and how interesting that is, and how fucking often they are planning to release shit, which is fucked. Like, they've got a lot of games planned for the next couple of years, and that's whether we like it or not, whether that destroys the surprise or not. And it totally does. Like, it ruins a lot of surprises, but it's a news. Either you cover it or you don't.
I agree. You're right about this nature of it's my friend, so I'm not gonna say anything because that's not fair journalism. You know?
Yeah.
That's not like real journalistic
impulse.
integrity.
I totally get the impulse. I get it. But at the same time, it's like, dude, you're in this sphere, and it just doesn't. And I also understand that, like, hypocrisy is not like everybody's a fucking hypocrite, right? Everybody's got everybody's got a bunch of shit that they're like completely contradictory on. So it's not like a massive point necessarily to say like, oh, condemn these people. It's not like these people are like evil people. It's just a matter of just like, listen, man, it looks weird when you covered Suicide Squad leaks yesterday, and today you're like, oh, well, not this studio because I'm an Easter egg in this game. Like, it just looks
I agree,
shitty.
But the context between Suicide Squad and this leak are very different contexts.
What's the difference?
The game information is game information. You know, that's freed. No one's personal information got leaked from the Suicide Squad thing. Not to mention, Suicide Squad has been in development and delayed 4 times. I know people that are working on that game, and that game has just been a fucking disaster. From me hearing directly from them, outside of them, everyone's heard it. It's granted, still, there's good information that came from it, but the context is slightly different. But nonetheless, if you're going to be a journalist, be real.
I just don't understand what makes the context different. A leak is a leak, right?
Well, a leak about people's personal information is a very different thing.
Well,
that's very different.
But
that's
you can
very
just
different.
not. But that's the thing. It's like, that's not news. You know what I mean?
Well, that's why they were condemning it. That's the nature of the condemning it, is because of the fact that people could actually very much so get hurt from the information that was released from the stuff at Insomniac.
Well, I guess the question is, would there be any difference in action if there was no doxing and it was just purely gaming information? Do you think those same
not,
people...
but I think there would be still. I think it'd still be the same kind of attitude. 100%.
So if it would still be the same, then Chris's point still holds up.
Oh, no, yeah, you're right.
Yeah. I feel like the only... Because do you know what this feels like to me? Like with those people being biased like that? It feels like to me when people... Like, say, for example, a Mr. Beast, where he's helping out everybody, but you know it's a balance where if you do this charity work for views, you get to write all this shit off. So it's like a thing where it's not like, even though it's kind of like he's doing great shit, there is another intention behind it. And so with those people going to bat for Insomniac, even though it's kind of messed up they didn't do the same thing for Suicide Squad or anyone else, there's good behind it still. It's still a positive thing. But like moving forward, you need to fucking keep that same energy. Keep that fucking same energy now.
Yeah.
And that's the only thing. Yeah, that's the only thing.
You can't cover leaks now, straight up, because then you'll just look like a fucking asshole. So you've written yourself into a corner here, and it's also, I don't know, man, it's just it's weird. And I saw some people going like, well, oh, it's different because certain those leaks came directly from the company, like or like the Xbox leak was a big one because that leak happened because one lawyer at Microsoft apparently tried to black out or redact some stuff with like an incorrect pen. Like, there's a specific pen that you have to use to redact information from court documents, and he didn't use it. He used like a standard marker, and so because of that, all of the stuff was kind of really easily legible, like through the black ink. And so a lot of that information got let loose, and a lot of that information ended up, getting out to the public. And I know what people mean when they say that. It's like, oh, it's fair game if it's the company's fault, but if they get hacked, it's not exactly the same thing. I get that, but at the same time, if your argument is that it's hard on the team for their surprises to be ruined and it's hard on the team for their hard work to be let go, I don't know if that really matters. And also, couldn't you argue that somebody at Insomniac probably clicked a link that they shouldn't have? That ended up giving these hackers a backdoor into the studio in the first place, making it their fault anyway? So, like,
I'm so glad you brought that up.
It's
I
so,
agree.
like,
I agree.
I'm so glad
I
you
agree
brought
with
that up.
that, but we don't know. We don't know that, right?
We do know, but here's what we do know. Here's what we do know. Nobody at any of these studios wants that information out there. What we do know is that it's objectively elite, that they don't want it out there, that it ruins morale at the team, and that it's a really big fucking deal for the team to go through it. And so if that's the main point, if that's the empathetic angle that we're taking, then it shouldn't matter if they got hacked or if it was the fault of the company, because the reality is it's always one person's fault, and the rest of the company shouldn't pay the price for that.
Most of the time.
So,
focusing on that. Most of the time, hacks, that's one thing that people always miss. That most of the time, someone got duped into doing some dumb shit they shouldn't have done. This happened so fucking... Dude, with the amount of... Remember in 2014? What was it called? The fappening? Like, that whole wave of shit was like, when you figured out how everybody got pretty much hacked, it's almost mind-boggling. Like, how did you fall for this? How did you fall for this obviously fake fucking phishing thing? But
bro.
It was one of those things. It happened to so many people, and it's just like, oh wow. So yeah, these people are human, and every once in a while, doesn't matter how tech savvy you are,
they do some
you
stupid
saw
shit.
something that, oh, you got signed out of your fucking XYZ. Now you need to go back in, and then all of a sudden you're fucked. And it's that, because I saw a lot of people saying things like, these companies need to do a better job protecting their shit and this and that. And I always say, well, there's also a lot of companies out there that you would assume these hackers would want their information too, but why aren't they getting it from them? Like, there's a lot of, you know what I mean? Like, you got to think about these things too.
People are gridlocked, bro. They're not letting that shit happen. They're not letting you get a chance to happen.
Right, and so what are they doing, and what do these companies, what does Insomniac and PlayStation have to do to correct this shit so this shit doesn't happen? You know? Like, of course, hackers are, this is one thing, hackers are always going to be there. It's fucked up. It's a fucked up reality. They're always going to try to get you. So we got to get ahead of it some way. And even as, like, say, consumers, for example, if we want to, like, make murderers and school shooters or whatever popular, well, I guess we can't prop them up as much. So I kind of understand the sentiment of, like, not wanting to talk about this stuff, but it's like, now you got to be consistent. You have to be consistent now. If that's how you feel, legitimately, moving forward, you can't talk about this shit. But I have a feeling, and Chris, I know, and y'all have a feeling that that's not how it's going to go down. It's not going to go down that way, innit? It's going to, like, juicy shit's going to come out again. And with enough time passes by, they're going to talk about it again, ain't they?
Yeah, I mean, probably. Like, I don't know. Like, I feel bad about it for the people at Insomniac. It sucks. Like, it's like a lot of a lot of shit that's out there that really shouldn't be. A lot of I don't know, man. That sucks. It's got to be a really bleak mood, and I feel for them. But it's like, you know, it's out there, man. It's news, and people are going to be picking through this shit for a really, really long time. And I think the best thing that you can do, really, is cover the stuff that is actually important, or cover the stuff that is actually, like, newsworthy, instead of doing this whole thing where it's like, okay, well, we're not going to cover it, because what I feel like that leads to people being like, okay, well, it's weird that they're not covering it. Let me dig into the stuff myself. And then suddenly people's actual personal information, like passports and stuff, is actually, that stuff's actually going to be seen by people that don't really need to see it. You know? I feel like it's better for them to be like, hey, listen, here's all the newsworthy stuff.
About that, actually.
Here's all the newsworthy stuff from this leak. Here's, you know, the release slate. Here's, like, the financials and interesting details from it.
Look, I'm not really that interesting. I don't know if here's the thing. I don't know if I agree with that, only because just the people that I'm pretty sure that less people would know about. If it wasn't for the outlets, I wouldn't even know about this shit, to be honest. That's just kind of how things operate. That's how people operate in general.
But that's what I'm saying. It's like to cover it in the way that they, so specifically.
No, what I mean, hold on. Because, like, what I'm saying is, let's just say, for the sake of argument, everybody, the biggest news outlets and whatnot, people that cover games, they decided not to cover it. I imagine most people who consume their content would just not know about it now. They just would not. It's in the same vein as, like, say that Do you remember when that fucking Dylan Mulvaney Bud Light thing? Where it's like, if those fucking pieces of shit just chose to not even mention that shit, no one know who the fuck she is. Like, they wouldn't know anything, and they never would have came across it. So it's just one of the things where it's like, I think technically, look, man, I'm gonna be real. I feel bad, but at the same time, I'm more on your side. Where I'm like, fuck, it's out. People are gonna talk about it. And this is an industry too. People want to get clicks. I get it. So it's kind of like, you kind of have to deal with it, unfortunately. You can't expect everybody to do that noble thing and not mention it. Like, you can't expect that. You just can't.
I guess the thing for me is that because I didn't really look that deeply into it. I heard that they got hacked, but I didn't, I don't know. Like, I didn't care that much about it. We talked about it a little bit before all this information came out on Sacred Symbols, obviously, because it's a big story. And it'll probably be the biggest story next year, too. But
100.
When this happened, and then I saw that video of Greg Miller being like, hey, we're not going to cover it. And I was like, well, what? That's weird. Like, if you're not going to cover it, just don't mention it at all. Because that made me, like, so fucking curious. Like, the second I saw it, I was like, oh, we're not going to cover this because, like, this, and that. It's like, okay, no, I have to see this. I have to see what the fuck this is. Because
that's a good point. That's a good point.
Because they covered everything else. That's kind of the thing that comes into play with this. It's like, they covered Suicide Squad, they covered Xbox, they covered Capcom, they covered GTA 6. What the fuck is in this leak that is, like, I'm so curious now, because now there's like some air around it that it's like you're not supposed to see it.
I guess what I understand where you're coming from.
Let me ask an honest question. Can I ask an honest question, Kingston?
Okay, what's that?
Did you see any of it? Did you see any of the Wolverine footage?
I saw all of it. I saw all of the information. Period. I saw Yuri's fucking thing, his passport. Because when I clicked the link, all of it popped up. Like, this link to this place, to that place, to that place. And that is a problem. Because of the nature of what it all was.
Yeah. Right.
Not that it is game information. Game is just game information, That shit gets leaked all the time. And though I don't like how often it happens, that's where my stance is. It happens too often. That is a problem. Yeah. When it would happen, like when we'd get a small leak about Halo, like 2007, right? You get a small leak about something, right? You wouldn't get people's personal information dropping.
You would get
and shit like that,
grainy. You used to get like grainy images, screenshots or like grainy images.
Or a person might let a word slip.
I remember a very famous. They're famous to me.
Halo 3 one, right?
Consumed my life. No, there's a Halo Reach one in 2009, and there were screenshots of, I think, the night mission. I don't remember what it was called, but it was like, it had the words Tom Morello written over it in Paint, in like Microsoft Paint for some reason. Like, I don't know why the fuck, but I remember that so specific. So I associate Tom Morello with Halo Reach leaks forever now, because those.
That is
I think it was to cover certain, or just to like distort the image as much as they can to leak stuff without actually like giving away who they were or whatever. But
but that's what leaks were before, That's what a leak was.
Yeah. But in the modern era, like now, that's not what leaks are. Like that full hour of Grand Theft Auto 6 footage that leaked earlier this year, like that fucking
insane.
Sucks. That sucks. And then there's also
the Wolverine gameplay. Wolverine looks sick. That game looks insane. Also, we should not be seeing it yet.
It also bothers me that people.
I'm not seeking it out though.
It bothers the hell out of me, by the way, that like so many people were like, dude, this looks so fucking unfinished. It's like, you should be killed.
People.
Same thing.
Lily was saying that. Lily was like, why does this Spider-Man look better? I was like, honey, it's not done. It's like, it's Lily. It's not done yet.
It is.
That game's not even close to finish.
A leak. It's like. How do you not, like, I don't understand how the word leak doesn't already come prepackaged with, obviously it's not fucking done, because it's leaked, it's not finished, it's not ready to be out yet. Like, it is the weirdest fucking thing that the amount of people that said that about GTA 6 and that footage is like astonishing.
Look, let me be real. Let me be clear, okay? GTA 6 looked horrible. It looked really bad. But also, it's the alpha. It's not even the beta yet. But that's the thing. That was an alpha build.
How did you think? Like, look at that.
No. I understand. Like,
I'm not talking about you specifically, but people. But I'm just like, okay, that footage looked worse than GTA 5. Now think about this. obviously they're not going to release a GTA 6 that looks worse than GTA 5.
You
What the
never know,
fuck
bro.
is
This
wrong
world-
with
this
you
world
to
is
even
magical, bro.
think
Well, there's
that
also
for a
this-
second?
It's so weird too because like it's so interesting to see like people who have like a solid understanding of like how the games industry works versus people who are very very clearly laymen or just not really interested actually because like so many people were like because I saw that GTA 6 footage and I remember thinking like damn a lot of this is done, like this looks actually like surprisingly complete for like an alpha build,
Right.
And I was like wow this could be fucking cool. And then everybody else was like, this looks incomplete and not done. And it's like, yes, that's the whole point. Every game looks like that, by the way. Every single
like, do you think it
amazing video game looks like that
polished
at some
when
point.
They first, like when they're
I don't know how
when
people...
there's a skeletal world. Do you think I'm like, how could you possibly think that? That is, do you think houses work that way?
Dude, people don't know how games
people
are
putting
made.
up the fucking wood fucking planks and shit, and they're like, "Oh, it looks like shit."
People do not know how games are made at all. But it's like
do
anything.
Building anything.
I know.
It's crazy to think
but these people haven't built anything, Derek. You think these people are building
things? That is
very
true. That is very absolutely true. They've never built anything.
Insane.
In their lives.
It's just insane hearing people talk about it. It's like, what are you like? It's not done. Like, it's what? That's like saying,
it's
oh,
really
this
annoying.
cake is just mixed. It's like, yes, because that's how the cake starts off. It starts off as mix and eggs and milk, and then
it's one of those things
make
that
it.
It makes me. It saddens me. It makes me lose like. I say when I say things like this because I always feel like I've already lost all hope in humanity when there's really horrific events happen. But then I'll go around and then I'll like say for example, actually literally today this morning, I was dropping JoJo off and there was a husky in the middle of the street, and so I dropped her off. I parked. I followed the husky up to the adjacent building. Me and this lady, we called the animal control. We got it, we got it all. And it was just like, it was a great moment of like, me and two other people coming together and helping this dog that clearly got out and stuff. And it just like made me feel good about people and humanity. And then I think about shit like this again and I'm like, fuck. Like, what if they brought that van? People,
what if they brought that dog? What if they took that dog in the back of a van and just kicked it to death?
They just fucking.
What if some guy was like, "Oh, thanks, you found my dog," and he picks it up at the belly and it takes a huge bite out of it.
He just
takes a huge bite out of it, and
do you guys
and
ever
the
see
dog
that
doesn't
video?
make noise. It just starts crying. It just starts crying.
Did you guys ever see that video of
dying.
that woman who threw her dog at someone?
Yeah.
No.
She was like super high on drugs.
She was like fucking high on crack and cocaine
like
and methamphetamine or like every single thing at once, and she just threw her
Some
dog
black
at some
guy
guy.
being like, "Yo, get away from me, kid."
Yeah, some black guy. He's like, "Hey, yo," and I think that guy has the dog now. I think he's
kept
just
the
been
dog.
raising that dog. Yeah, he kept the dog, which is hilarious. It's a hilarious way to get a dog.
hell yeah, it is. Yeah, I'm actually gonna check up on that
Can you
husky.
imagine answering that question? How'd you get this? When'd you get this dog? It's like, oh, some drug addict literally threw this dog at me. So now I have it.
And that dog's
What made it funny?
God.
What made it funny? This is not funny, but it is funny at the same time. When she's like on a swing the dog at him, the dog is just suspended in the air, just dangling, and there's this little puppy just dangling, and it's just like I don't know why I'm here.
I
was created to make people happy. I don't want to do this.
There's something about people
then
who
it's just like, oh, I'm taking this dog now.
People who people who just treat animals like that really piss me off. I don't know.
Oh
like,
yeah, I think they should
beat up a person.
Be dead.
You could beat up. I could watch videos of people beating each other up all day. Like all day, I can watch those videos of people fighting each other on the train tracks or whatever. And that's fine, but like I don't know, man. You hit a dog and it really enrages me.
Oh, it's on, man. It's one of those things. That's when I've seen humans on the same street that JoJo works on. She works in a shady neighborhood in a hospital. I've seen it in horrific conditions. I see a dog that's a little confused. And I immediately rush and spring into action. That is the difference between Like, I am not helping the confused homeless person that I'm like, yeah, get the fuck out of here. You're full of stink. I'm not going to touch you. But the dog, it's disheveled. It has looks like it has paint on it or something. The dog has like purple paint on it somehow. I don't know where it had a scarf and a collar that looks like it had been torn a little bit. So maybe it had a tag on it before. And I'm like, I have shit to do, but I'm going to stay with this dog till we get this sorted out. I ain't doing that for a person unless they're like shot or something. Like if I see someone who's like bleeding, then maybe I'll be like, oh fuck, what can I do? Beyond that, if you're just like a human that passed out, I might not even stop. I might just walk over them and be like, well, you know, I'm sure they'll be fine. It's kind of fucked up, but hey, what do you like?
Yeah. What are you gonna do?
As a kid, I saw a dude pass out in the middle of the street in LA in South Central, and dudes, and I thought they were gonna help him up. Instead, they just robbed him. They just went in his pockets and then they left.
That's Californians, though. Californians, yeah. New Yorkers are like this, right? Don't inconvenience me, and I won't fuck with you. But there's always like we have a weird nature of like we'll curse at you, we'll attack each other. When someone gets hurt, they'll care. Like I know people that were like serious drug dealers. Like, when a car skirts, they duck down, they grab their hip. You know what they're about to do. Like, shit like that. But then when my grandmother would be coming home with the fucking groceries, they would drop what they were doing, and they would help my grandmother with the groceries up the stairs. Or when I was little crossing the street, they would cross the street with me. And I think that's a New York culture thing, because in Cali, I never hear shit like that happen. Like, I know people that have robbed other homies' parents over here. And I'm just like, what the fuck is wrong with you guys?
They treat old people specifically really well in New York. I've just noticed. I don't know what that is.
Because it's like the neighborhood, but, you know? Like, I've known
but there's
Mrs.
also, like,
J
if you're
since
just a
I was
normal
kid,
person, though,
you know?
But if you're just a normal person, like if it's just you, Kingston, like they're not helping you. And if they do help you, they'll like make fun of you. Probably they'll be like,
no, that's not exactly true.
Yeah, they will.
It depends on where you are. It depends on where you are. It depends if you know anybody.
If you like trip on the ground, and you have a hard time getting up, somebody will pick you up and they'll be like, "The fuck you thinking, idiot?" Or like, "What the fuck you doing?"
No, they're like, "Are you fucking okay? Like, what are you doing, man? Like, why are you out here like this? You fucking, you need help getting home?" And like, they'll be like shit like that.
They'll help you while they harass you. It's fucking fat. I've seen it happen many
they'll
times.
pay for a cab to get you to your house, and they'll be insulting you the whole time. You're like, "Yo, I'm having an episode."
Oh my god! Do you remember that story from like a couple? Like, I think it was like maybe exactly a month ago. Probably no longer than that. Of that guy who came to New York and he made a TikTok about how like. He ordered a scoop bagel. Did you see this?
No. I heard about the scoop bagel.
What the fuck is the scoop bagel?
Exactly. So a scoop bagel is a bagel, but they scoop all of the bagel, the bread out of it. So it's just the shell of the bagel, and then you get it filled with like I don't know, cream cheese or something else. Like I don't know. I don't get it. I've never had one. It's definitely not a New York thing. I think it's more like a West Coast or like everywhere else thing. I've never experienced that in New York ever. But so this guy ordered a scoop bagel, and the guy told him, "Get the fuck out of here. We don't do that." Like, what are you talking about? We're not going to scoop your bagel out. And he made a TikTok about it. He was like, it was something about like, never order a scoop bagel in New York. I just tried, and they said, "Get the fuck out of here." And it went so viral that somebody literally got in touch with him, and somebody in New York got in touch with him. And he said, "Listen, I will buy you a first-class flight back to wherever you came from if you get the fuck out of here." And he did it. Like, he actually did. Like, the dude got a free first-class flight out of New York because they didn't want him there so bad that they were willing to put him in an actual luxurious exile to get him out of there. It's like, don't you dare order a scoop bagel in my city, you freak. Get the fuck out of here. Here's a first-class flight home. I love that. That is hilarious to me, because that is like, yeah, I'll take real good care of you as I exile you to the far reaches of this fucking country.
That is insane.
That was so fucking funny.
That's awesome.
New York is such a crazy place, dude. Like I've lived there, like that was like where I felt, because I don't consider myself exactly the most New York person anymore, because I left New York, I left the city at like 13, and then I left New York State like 7 years ago, and the amount it changes every time I go back is so weird, but it's the most perplexing, because it's the most like, everyone's such an asshole, but at the same time, everyone is so... There's like this weird kindredness that I've never seen anywhere else. Like never even close.
Anyway, let's move on.
Yeah.
So I do want to talk at least briefly about this, dude. This Hunter Avalon shit is pretty wild. So
okay, you guys explain to me what the fuck that is really.
Yeah. So we're shifting gears here pretty drastically, but I really want to talk about this before we get into questions, because it's probably one of the craziest things I think I've ever seen to happen in YouTube in general. So Hunter Avalon
I would say the craziest.
Yeah. I struggled to think of something crazier, really. Maybe. Well, that would spoil it a little bit. But all right, let me lay the groundwork a little bit. Hunter Avalon, obviously, like a big political commentary guy. He used to be on the conservative side. He kind of changed a lot over the years. He's definitely more like on the left leaning side now. He does a lot of debates with people. He was just on. Oh my God. It's not The Cut, but you know those, I don't know, those shows where they gather people in a room to talk about shit, and I don't know what the fuck. Yeah,
like
he's on one of those. Yeah, like Jezebel
like
or something, like Jubilee.
Something like that. Yeah.
Middle Grounds?
Something like that.
Probably.
Yeah, I think it's that.
I love like that shit. I love Middle Grounds.
So he was on one of those, and like he's arguing. He's a very left leaning guy now. I remember I don't have a lot of history with Hunter. I remember kind of talking to him a little bit. We've never really been friends, is what I'm saying, or like enemies or anything. Like he's just some person who just happened to be friendly with him,
and even when he was like a right wing like chud, I respected him because he genuinely believed that stuff at the time. He was extremely what I would call integral, because I remember, just real quick, he came out, this was probably like 2017 or some shit, to say that, letting his audience know that like I'm not religious anymore. Like it just doesn't make any sense to me. Like when he started, and I was oh, here's somebody who's not just lying for the sake of lying and making money. And I thought, oh, that's weird. He literally didn't have to say that to his audience at all. He could have just been like, I'm not religious anymore, and keep making conservative content. But he felt like, I want to be honest. And so I feel like that started his arc towards becoming progressive, because he started looking at things in in an objective way and making sense of the world. And so I'm like, I was like, mad respect.
Yeah, I mean, I've never had a problem with him or anything, but like he was in our circle. I feel like I met him in person at least once. I'm not super sure about that though, to be honest. But anyway, the point is, this is somebody that we kind of know, or somebody that's like we're kind of familiar with, who's in our sphere. And so this guy, he's obviously gone through a political evolution. He's changed a lot over the last several years. And I guess he is in a relationship with somebody, and they were
streamer.
Some streamer, and they were, together. And I guess this streamer's ex-boyfriend came to their apartment with a fucking gun. And actually, like, Derek, can
Let
you
me
pick
paint
this up?
it a little more detail.
I get overwhelmed when I talk about this because it's so fucking insane.
So wild. It is so wild. So I'll just set up just a little bit more. So Hunter used to be married. He got divorced and stuff. Cool. Met this new streamer. He has a girlfriend. This girl, the streamer, I don't remember her name, Holly or something like that. It's something like that. I could be wrong. Had an ex-boyfriend for a long time. This guy has obviously major mental health issues. She went to go stay with Hunter for like a week. He lives somewhere on the East Coast. And they live all the way on the West Coast. That dude air tagged her luggage to, know where he lived. Fucking shows up, buys a fucking, it's crazy. This is also a problem with fucking gun control. Buys a gun with the intent to murder somebody. Easily gets it with no fucking problem, right? Buys a shotgun with slugs. Oh, he has multiple ammo, but he specifically used slugs to make sure to kill Hunter. Shows up at the apartment. Fucking, there's a glass door that they have a glass door, whatever, at the front door. To get in, he fucking shoots at the bottom of the door. That chick happens to be close by the door. Hunter's already fucking running away. She gets hit by some of the ricochet, right, of the glass. She didn't get hit by the slug, luckily, because that probably would have blew her fucking leg off. But, she's already been injured by some of that shit. So they go upstairs after that, and fucking, they calling the cops and everything. The cops show up a few minutes later. Dude's having a hard time getting in. Luckily, he didn't just get in. All of a sudden, he's having a shootout with the fucking cops. Injured a couple of the cops. Not fatally or anything. Just, and then, once he realized that he was pretty much fucked, he just blows his own head off, essentially. It's the craziest. And then there's a little bit of footage. That's the thing that, like, Hunter had this wherewithal. So some people found it controversial that he was able to pull out his phone and do this. But I think that's kind of just the culture now. People are like, I'm more like, I grew up without my phone, so I'm more a little detached from it where I don't pull it out right away. And sometimes I get upset when I don't, because I'm like, fuck, that would have been awesome footage to have. But I feel like a lot of people that are younger, they're more attached to it and they can do it a little bit easier. So I don't think it was kind of like natural. Something crazy is happening and he wanted to document, obviously, I guess his last moments, he thought. So you can see, there's footage of, you see them on the balcony, and then you just hear the cops giving orders and then just a bunch of shots ringing out. And it's like, it's fucking chilling to like know this person, to be kind of somewhat, a few degrees removed from this. You're like, dude, I know this fucking guy. This guy was this close and inches away from death. That shot was intended for Hunter. He legitimately wanted to kill him. That guy, the ex, was like really disappointed that he hurt the girl because he just wanted to kill Hunter. It's just like the crazy, because there's been some instances. There's that one chick, she got shot at like a meet and greet or something. She got killed at
Christina
a meet and greet.
Yeah, that's so
Christina Grimmie.
That shit was so sad, bring that up, bro.
Yeah, that was like 2010, like fucking a long time ago.
It was a while ago, and that was fucked up, but it was very similar to what happened to Dimebag Darrell, the guitarist of Pantera, like where a guy came to the show in 2004 and just shot him. And it's like there's some just insane people just doing this shit. This was such a meticulously planned thing, like where it's like, okay, air tags and all this, and flew all the way over or whatever the fucking, just got all this stuff together. He planned things out, and like it's so fucking crazy that I'm like, yo, when it comes to doxing and all this shit, man, like, it's like everybody's got to take this shit way more seriously now. When you it makes you think about Jack's films, like where how fucked up a situation could be because one of her simps could have been that crazy easily. Yeah, like, it's just like it's crazy, man.
Yeah, it's fucking honestly like some of the crazy. Yeah, I saw people having a problem with him recording, but it's like, I don't know, man.
Yeah.
What do you fucking?
I mean, especially
you're already talking to the police. You're already talking to the police. You've done what you have to do. You're definitely not gonna run back in there to get like a weapon when you could just stay where you are, and or like if he gets in, that you could just run away. Like there's a number of things that you could do. I don't know, man. I feel like a lot of people think that they would handle that situation better, but the reality is like a lot of those people probably just be dead.
Those people
I don't think you really understand.
Fucking stupid. The ones that like they would have pissed their fucking pants and then they would have gotten themselves killed. Like the amount of people that like not just the trolls in the comments section that hate Hunter because he's progressive now, but like people that I know that like I don't know them personally, but I've seen them around. I've seen some people like, oh, they're they were saying shit like, oh, you used her as a human shield. You did all this. Like, dude, some of the craziest. Somebody started a GoFundMe for Hunter because he wants to move. Like, he wants to obviously move because his place has been compromised and there was a dead fucking body in his front fucking... Like, obviously you would want to remove yourself from that apartment. So somebody started a GoFundMe for him and like, oh, how fucking... Like, people were giving him shit for... I'm like, this is... We're in an era...
So weird.
That is so bizarre. That is so fucking fake that to give somebody shit for... Like, this dude almost got fucking Swiss cheesed. And they're making excuses and trying to hate on it. I'm like, bro, if anybody, though, if it happened to them or anyone in their family, it's like, would you do the same thing? Would you keep the same fucking energy? You'd be like, oh, how could you use so-and-so as a fucking meat shield? Oh, man, you're trying to raise money so you can fucking move. You're a fucking grifter. I'm like, I don't even.
So crazy.
I didn't say anything because it's just too much. I was just like,
Yeah, people don't know what words mean anymore, and also just like I don't know, people are just weirdly detached. I think it's just the internet doing what it does,
100%.
where it's like, oh, I don't know anybody in person, so like I don't know what it's, I don't know what being a human being is like. It's fucking I don't know. That was one of the craziest things I think I've ever.
That is
seen.
insane.
'Cause I remember
that shit was some shit. That was a thrill ride, bro. I was not ready to hear any of that shit. I was like, what in God? What in tarnation? What in retardation is going on?
Yeah. And as of right now, they seem to be handling it almost. And Hunter released a video a few days ago of recording this, and he seemed. Now he also mentioned in the video that like he was even kind of surprised himself that how well he's kind of handling it in a way that it's one of those things that maybe it'll hit him harder later, or this might be it. Because I've had traumatic events happen in my life, and I've also thought that, like, I'm not as bothered as I thought I would be. Or even in situations where I was threatened at gunpoint at one time, and the only thing that bothered me was how far I was away from the person. It was this, I think I mentioned this before, because I think I remember saying that it was this chick that went to ASU, and her mom pulled up that looked like Drew Carey. Like, her mom legitimately looked like Drew Carey, this fucking bull, fucking flat top haircut. Well, I guess redneck Drew Carey because she had cut off sleeves. But she had this giant fucking hand cannon. And I'm like, oh, I'm too far away to even have a chance to do anything. And then that was the only thing that like truly bothered me, because I felt like if we were point blank or something, I'm like, I'll kill this bitch. I will end this bitch for even daring to try to threaten me. But I was probably like 10 feet plus away from her, so I'm like, you're that far away, you're fucked. If you move you're fucked.
You can't move fast and they can react to shoot you.
Yeah, you can't do shit. So I was just like, that's the only thing that bothered me in that situation when I think about it, I was like, stupid bitch. But then not really dealing with, I could have easily have been killed. I easily could have been shot if I said the wrong thing or if I reacted in any different way. And I'm not even trying to compare it to his situation. His situation is way more fucked. Infinitely more. Like, the motherfucker actually let go of a fucking slug.
Yeah, without a doubt. It's definitely more
let go of slug. Chick got hit. Blood everywhere. Like, it's just like, but the fact that he's handling it and her seemed to be handling it in a way that it's like, wow. The human mind is fucking insane how it can do that sometimes. Where it's like, well, that happened.
I mean, honestly,
like,
when I heard about all this happening, the first thought that I had was that if I were in a situation like that and it unfolded the same way, I'd be like, I'd probably feel pretty like, oh, phew, all right, well, that guy's gone. You know what I mean? Like, that's not going to be you know what I mean? Like, I don't mean to be crass about it, but like, I would feel
Shut the fuck up, dude.
I mean, think about it statistically. What are the likelihood that anyone is going to try and seek you out to kill you? You know what I mean?
Right.
That probably that's probably low in like by default. So to know that not only did somebody try to kill you, but they're fucking dead. That I don't know. That's gotta bring with it some level of comfort where it's like, well, how likely is this to happen again? You know, what are the odds of this?
How unlucky is Hunter though to think about that? Because it's not like
that's true.
It's not like fucking like the only reason that guy wanted to kill Hunter is because he started dating his ex. Like, how unlucky is that? Like, it could have been anyone else, and then they happen to bond. And so by that fact, that guy's like, I gotta kill you. It's like,
damn,
holy
Hunter,
shit,
you really fucked the pooch, didn't you? Now I gotta murder you.
And I gotta say, look, I feel fucked up saying this. I'm be honest, but this is something that, like, this is not this specific reason, because this is such a wild card. But I'm like, I don't want to date fame. I never wanted to date, like, the people that are, like, have a large following, especially pretty streamers, because unfortunately they have those fucking crazy ass fans. Even oh my god, well, I don't want to say her name, I guess. It's just, but someone that we know closely, she had a guy that was like, oh, we're in a relationship together, and even flew to her country, like, to like, oh, hey, I'm here, kind of a thing. She had like a crazy stalker situation, and I just don't want to, like, mention the name. I mean, I can talk about it after,
of course,
and be like,
we all know her.
But yeah, it's just, absolutely. I just don't want to, like, I just don't want to, like,
it is. Never forget. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to put her business out there, like, be like, oh, this is, because I don't know if she told everybody or not. I really don't know, but it's just one of those things that, like, well, she did make a video about it, but the point being that it's way too common. Like, the crazies happens, that, did you guys see that guy? He went viral. He was a crypto bro. He made his money in crypto, and he gave tens
Amaranth,
of thousands of dollars to, not Amaranth. This is I think she was just specifically an OnlyFans content creator. I don't think she was a streamer. This was some chick. I think she was black, or like light skin or something. She stole a name. Her name's like something of, I'm like, that's not your real name. It's like somebody, it's like a celebrity already exists or something. I wish I remembered it, but there's this bald guy with a big fucking beard, and this happened very recently, that he was so obsessed, she leaked all of his text messages, and it's the saddest, simpiest shit ever. Basically being like, I will give you 5 crypto, like basically hundreds of thousands of dollars, if you just respond with me with one word. I'm so obsessed with you, I cannot live without you. It was the most pathetic thing you would ever see. And all I was thinking is, like, someone needs to message that girl and tell her, go in hiding fucking now. That guy has millions of dollars, and he already quote unquote ran into her in public, and he had those weird Google Glass things with the camera and shit. So who God knows, like, what footage he has and who fucking knows. But it's just, I wish I remembered the name so I could easily have you guys pull it up. But I feel like there's enough information to go off of people that are listening that if you don't know about this situation, you'd be like, oh yeah, I can find it. But it's
so crazy.
You read the text messages if you get a chance.
That shit is crazy.
Because it's the craziest,
so unsettling, dude.
Most pathetic shit you'll ever read in your life. I don't know if I've ever seen simping to that level before. And that's saying a lot, because when you work on the internet, you run into this shit every once in a while.
It makes me really sad. This is like, it's just like, that's just mental health. That's just people just being mentally ill.
Mental health. Hunter made actually a good point about that.
And it's just like, Jesus Christ, dude. It's
Hunter empathized with that guy, actually. He humanized him after the whole ordeal, and was like thinking about, like, apparently he tried to actually get help, and the people that he reached out to, the professionals or something, didn't get back to him in time. So he actually didn't get any help. And which is obviously, this whole situation probably could have been avoided if this system, obviously our health care system was set up for people to succeed and to be actually treated. And
dude. It's a fucking it's a complete fucking joke, especially with, like,
true,
mental
man.
stuff. Like,
if he was a young man of color, dude, it's a thug.
I had
the thug.
I had
thug. He was
what is it?
looking for problems.
I got prescribed fucking Adderall for the ADD, and I still have not. I've been to like 8 different pharmacies. I think I've told the story. Did I tell the story on the podcast already? I don't remember if I think I might have told.
I don't remember.
One of you.
I don't remember.
So, like, basically, pharmacies can't tell you if they have Adderall. Like, if you call and ask them, they can't tell you. Like they I don't know why. I think the idea is like, oh well, they get robbed if they just give that information out in the open, right? So they will not tell you. You have to have a prescription for that filed with that pharmacy for them to even tell you if they have it or not. So you have to basically get on the phone with your provider, tell them to send a prescription to this pharmacy, and then you have to wait for however long that takes, and then you'll get the message, okay, they have it, and then you can call and then you can ask. But then sometimes they won't even tell you over the phone. Sometimes you have to go in person and then be like, hey, I have a prescription for this. And even though they take the prescription, they'll be like, oh, well, we don't carry that medicine here. And so I've had to do that about like 8 different times. And even to the point where it's like, I went back to the original pharmacy that I went the first time and got it. And they send out these automatic texts that say like, okay, hey, your prescription is being filled, right? Or, hey, we're out of stock. I'll get that message a lot. And then like one day I remember getting, hey, your prescription is being filled. And I was like, okay, cool. So I book it over there to the pharmacy the second I get that text. And then they tell me, oh, we don't actually carry this medication. So the entire system is really fucked with this stuff. Because I guarantee you the only reason this stuff is being stolen in the first place is because it's hard it's hard to fucking attain. If you could just buy this shit, I don't think people would have a fucking problem.
Yeah, that's so fucking funny. I'm sorry. That's funny as shit, dude. I'm sorry.
It's ridiculous. The only Adderall that I've been able to get, or like the only medicine that I've been able to get, is from like friends of mine, like giving it to me completely fucking illegally. Because I've done everything. I've done everything correct.
Hey, you tried
for the last year. I've been trying to figure this shit out, and it's still like a really fucked situation. So like, yeah, I mean, granted, my shit's a lot less like not as high stakes as this whatever the fuck's going on with this guy. But like, the mental health system is really fucked. Like, it's not a good system at all. The healthcare system's really fucking backwards and completely fucked up. Middlemen really fuck everything up. So I mean, I appreciate the fact that he can empathize. I probably I understand on some level, but at the same time, I can't pretend like I wouldn't be like. I can't pretend like I wouldn't be like astoundingly relieved that guy is fucking gone.
That's why I got out of my mental health issues, bro. I sold off my mental health issues. I'm fine now.
You
my
sold
mental health is perfect. Finally, I sold all that shit away.
Absolutely.
I was wilding for a bit. I was bugging for a little while, but I balanced myself out, bro.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I feel like you're gonna snap when you're like 50. I think.
I'm gonna snap. No, I'm not gonna snap.
Yeah, I think so. I think
you're gonna murder Lily, for
give.
sure.
I don't think you're gonna murder anybody. I think you're probably gonna like. I think what's going to happen is you're going to. I don't know. You're gonna publicly urinate, and then you're gonna get put on the sex offender registry, and then that's gonna really fuck with you. Because like you'd be like I didn't even do anything wrong. Like I didn't like what did I do? Like it's not
like I pissed in like a train in between the cars, and now I'm like this. Like this is really not fair. Like this is really not fair.
There should I feel really bad for like I think there needs to be a secondary registry for like if you're going to put people on a registry for pissing in public. I feel like that needs to be separate from a sex offender registry. That seems like way too fucking much. Like,
I don't think that should be on. You shouldn't be on for that. Like that's just like it's just that.
That's what I mean, though. But then I guess
you should get in trouble for that. You should not be labeled as that. Yeah,
you should get a fucking fine for pissing in public. What are you doing? You slap them with a fine and be like, "Don't do it again, bitch."
Yeah, if you publicly urinate in front of a fucking school at recess, I guess that's different. But that's obvious. Yeah. Like the difference in that is obvious. Like it's wild to me that people get put on that registry for public urination because I've definitely pissed in the street. Absolutely.
Yeah,
I've seen people. I've been with people who've pissed in the street. I remember being on a date where we were out so late. That nowhere was fucking open, and we were like, "Hey, listen."
That's some New York shit. That's some New York shit, bro. It happens. You're in the city way too late at night, bro. You do it,
dude. Peeing outside is amazing.
You're nowhere near your house.
First of all, can I say this just as straight up? Peeing outside is fucking incredible. Like it is a beautiful feeling. It's like not even necessarily, not even just like in a city, but even in just like the fucking woods. Like I remember living in upstate New York with my parents, and we just have so much fucking woods. And I remember just being up super late, and I was like, I could go to the bathroom, but I think I'm gonna go outside. I think I'm just gonna go to the woods and go outside, because it's just like there is something there, man. There's like a liberating, like ooh, Like I'm back, return to monkey type shit going on. So I don't know. I feel like that shouldn't. I feel like that shouldn't be a sex offender thing. That's crazy.
Yeah.
But also, if you get put on a sex offender registry. Yeah, shout out to Hunter for not being put on a sex offender registry. He's not on a sex offender registry, thank God.
Yeah.
Thank God for him.
He's got a kill under his belt. Probably feels pretty good.
Do you think you feel stronger after someone dies because of you? Do you think you feel stronger?
I guess it depends on how
I don't
it happened.
So.
If I specifically had a hand in their death, right? Like say, even if I pushed them and then a car hit them or something, but they were attacking me. And that's why.
They weren't. That's what you're saying. That's the story you're gonna have though. You're like, they attacked me as you put somebody in front of a train.
I have no desire to murder.
He's attacking me.
Well, that's not true. That is not true. There's a couple of people. I would easily push in front of a bus. But only like two or three people.
You start giggling. You're like, and if you push, let's say this, right? So if that's the reason, like if you had a direct candidate, so let's say Barack Obama, he's had a lot of drone strikes. Someone that's accumulated a lot of kills over their time. If you push them, if you get them in a situation where they pass away, do you then get all that XP?
Inherit their power?
Yeah.
No,
well, not
that's not how anything works ever. That's not how.
Because think about it like Dark Souls or anything. When you kill these ads, you kill these minions or whatever that have probably killed a lot of different people, but you don't absorb like all of their the history of what they've done. Which I feel like I would like that. I feel like I like.
Could you imagine the transformation you'd undergo? Like, I'm getting so strong. Oh my god! Oh my god!
If you killed Henry Kissinger, and you just like what would become of you?
You would start light would come out of your mouth, eyes, and nose.
Dude,
nobody. No one can stop you at that point. So. Yeah, and see, people fucked up because no one killed him. He just died of natural causes.
No one could kill him because of how strong he was by that point.
His health bar goes off screen, man. His health bar is on a different. You need an ultra wide monitor to see his health bar.
He picks up his weapon and his health bar starts going in like, oh, it's gonna stop. Wait. I don't know where, in Dragon Ball Z, in the Budokai games, where like it goes from like green, yellow to green,
yeah, it
to
has
red,
like the levels of
to
it. It has
blue
the levels
to white. It's like what?
It has the levels. Like, fuck, how many goddamn lives does this fucking boss have? It's crazy.
What the fuck, Kissinger? Jesus shit! You had to wait. You had to wait till the cancer OTK'd him. That's it. It doesn't work.
That's it. That's it.
I am dead. Before we get into questions, I do want to say,
dead. Oh yeah,
I'm really. Since you brought up Budokai, I'm really excited. I'm really excited about that new Budokai game. Just want to bring that up. Yeah, I'm so stoked. I'm so stoked that that's real. Stupid name that they've chosen, but it's okay. Let's move on.
I'm excited for the cast, bro. I want to play as Beast Gohan and shit, man.
Oh,
I
yeah,
Beast Gohan. I want to see Ultra Instinct Goku in that kind of setting. Because we've seen them in games, but I want to see them in that kind of setting where, like, they get to do all those cool, like, sway moves. I remember the sway ability in Tenkaichi being so, or Budokai, was it Tenkaichi? Or Tenkaichi being so cool. You punch people, they're just, like, moving out the way, then they hit you back and you go flying. Oh,
yeah.
God, I love those games.
I hope Kid Buu still has his completely broken combo that just
the
let
whirlwind
you get
punch?
like 200. The one where you like it was like a couple punches, then he flipped upside down and kicked you in the head, and then he would like trip you, and then he would like beat you up, and then he would send you up in the air, and then he would do that combo over and over again. I fucked people up with that character. It was so mean. Like nobody wanted to play with me, and I get it. Anyway, let's move on. The billboard. The billboard posted on KSI's massive fucking forehead wrote in. He says, "What's up, Dinkus, Crinkus, and Sweetest Sween?" Did y'all know that the girl who played Cindy Lou Who, Taylor Momsen, in Jim Carrey's Grinch, grew up to be the lead singer of a hard rock band called The Pretty Reckless? Stay insufferable, you fucking God, I hate you guys. Well, all right, that's really
she
mean.
was also
Merry
in
Christmas
Gossip
to
Girl.
you too. I didn't know that. I knew that she had a band. I know the Pretty Reckless. One of my exes used to listen to them a lot, and she actually got me into them. It's kind of nuts to me. Like, that's a weird thing to me. Like, I get it. People get older, but it's so. I'll put it this way. Do you guys remember Full House? Do you guys remember how like they had a Full House reboot that was called Fuller House?
Oh yeah.
I remember specifically when the first episode of that came out, I watched it out of sheer curiosity. I was like, what the fuck is this going to be? Like, what era are we in that we're doing this now? And the first episode, you see Stephanie, and she's in this ridiculous dress. This absurd, like,
with just
black
cannons.
cat looking, like, just like, and like an absurd, like, yeah, with these fucking cannons on her. And I'm like, I can't watch this. I can't. This feels fucking weird. I understand that this is a grown woman.
I don't have that. I don't have that issue because Stephanie, every period of time I've ever watched that show, she has been older than me. So for me,
that, but,
it's just like, nice.
No,
I really could
that.
Use some milk with my cereal. You know,
I get that. It's just like it's just weird because like this person has existed in such a specific way in my brain for so long, and now they're this, and it's like a really sudden. It's a sudden shift, and there's a similar thing with Taylor. There's a similar thing with Taylor Momsen in a way different way though, because like I mean, The Grinch is one movie, and at this point, I think I've been exposed to more of The Pretty Reckless than I have The Grinch, and so to me, it's like okay, well, this is a full woman. This is a woman now. Hot, cool. This is dope. I appreciate this.
Yeah,
but it is still fucking weird. It is a jarring shift to go from singing "Where Are You Christmas" to, you know, any of the songs that she sings now. It's pretty fucking weird. She did a song with Tom Morello too that I didn't actually listen to, but I saw it and I was like, whoa, what the fuck? But yeah, it's I don't know. I did know this. It has always fascinated me. Are there any other examples like this where there are just like child stars that grew up to just do shit that made no fucking sense? Like, does anything like ring a bell to you when you think about that? That
I think there's a bunch. I mean, fucking
specifically the child stars though.
I mean,
I think about,
dude.
You know what I think about a lot? I think about this a lot because it was me and my friend Rob would watch this show and we loved. This is back when I was really into trash TV. Like in high school, and I would watch like VH1. Like I would watch I Love New York and Rock of Love and Flavor of Love and all those stupid like I would watch the shit out of those, just absolute garbage. But I still remember so fucking much of it. I remember Chance on I Love New York saying "I'm gonna cut you." I remember all these like moments.
How the
like,
fuck do you remember that? I remember that shit too.
Cause like I just remember being so out of pocket. It's like he just threatened to cut someone on fucking television. That's nuts. But. So we were watching these shows, and Celebrity Fit Club was one of the shows that we just couldn't get enough. We were just laughing so hard. It's like, look at all these fucking washed up celebrities trying to get unfat. This is hilarious. And Dustin Diamond, Screech from Saved by the Bell was on it. And he was an absolute menace on that show. He was a demon. Like, I think he literally, like, tried to be the villain of the show, like, intentionally.
Yeah,
and he just made everybody was his enemy. He was such a dick. He was so cocky and annoying, so snarky for no reason. But, like, he was snarky in, like, the way that a 17-year-old would be, but he was, like, 36 or something, or, like, however old the fuck he was, like, 40 or something. Like, I don't know.
Did he recently die?
But he died many years ago now at this point. Dustin Diamond. Yeah. But it's so funny, when he died, I didn't think of him as like, oh, Screech. I thought of him as, oh, fucking Celebrity Fit Club, the demon in Celebrity Fit Club. He had a sex tape too that was like, oh my god, what the fuck was it called?
Saved by the Smell.
No way.
Are you serious?
Yeah, it was called Saved by the Smell.
Did you watch it?
No, because he talked about it, and it was called like there was like a Dirty Sanchez scene or something like that. Like, you don't forget shit like that.
That's so heinous.
You don't
so
Saved by the
heinous,
Smell.
in fact.
Saved by the Smell. Yeah, you're totally
I won't fucking lie, man. Like, you don't forget things like that. When you have something that is a play on of the fucking show that he was on, like you don't forget that. Like, Saved by the Smell.
There's also a movie.
That is so
there's also a
stupid.
movie. Dustin Diamond reveals sex tape penis was fake in 2014.
I mean, come on.
Whatever. I didn't watch it. But like IMDb,
I didn't see it
I
either.
look up. I look up Dustin
didn't
Diamond
see
sex
it.
tape, and something comes up on IMDb called "Screeched" video 2006,
Screeched.
and it says
Screeched.
"Screeched." It says "Screeched," directed by Dustin Diamond, with the bride, the bridesmaid, Dustin Diamond, Christine Fenke, Dustin Diamond, and the plot synopsis is Dustin Diamond has sex with 2 women. I fucking love this.
How
dude.
complex.
That's so awesome.
That is so stupid. That is so stupid.
You know what I just remembered right now?
What?
I just remembered that there was a girl named Claire and her friend Heather in my high school. And one of them, I don't remember which one, but they wrote an actual porn scene. It was very, what do you call it? Stereotypical pizza type shit. And like they're like, "Yo, you want to do this?" And I'm like, "Yeah, that's badass." But like there's supposed to be another guy in it. And I'm like, I don't know, I don't know if I want to work with any other niggas, man. So my friend Josh used to bang this chick Claire, but I guess he got in some trouble, so he was gone. And there was this guy that he's such a weirdo. And they're like, "Oh, we heard we're gonna get this." He was goth. And they're like, I was friends with him. We actually even jammed a little bit. But they're like, "Oh, let's get this guy." And I was like, I'm out. I am the fact that like I completely forgot this even existed. But like the fact that like I was like, "Oh, this is gonna be fun. I'm just gonna do some crazy shit with some chicks." And then this fucking weirdo goth dude that apparently he was literally shorter than you, but apparently had this legendary giant like I was like, bro, I'm fucking the whole thing was ruined by and it just reminded me that like, oh yes, porn scene, a plot. It's funny that was even something that like my childhood was fucking weird, dude. Like there was just some stupid, what an excuse to like, who does
This
that?
is your childhood?
Who even like, well, you know, I was in high school. I was high school.
Oh, right.
Bro,
So-
every moment like that, I would say yes, get really close to doing something like that, and then just not do it.
And then
There's
it's
so
not
many
doing it.
moments like that where I'm like, yeah, I'll do that. Like, this
100%.
is a good idea. Like, and you start ramping yourself up, and then you take one moment and you think. You take one moment of like serious constructive thought, and you're like, I'm not gonna go bang one of my teachers. I shouldn't do that. I shouldn't be going
bang one of my teeth.
I shouldn't be going
I never
to my
got in that
Spanish
scenario
teacher.
even close.
I got very, 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 very close.
That's crazy.
And I chose not to. And
I think I would have been
Was
so
it a
happy.
teacher or like
I-
a student? Was it like straight up teacher or was it like a student teacher? Because you know student teachers are like younger and shit.
She was a Spanish teacher, a black Latina Spanish teacher who was very attractive. Any of my friends that watched this from high school are going to know, like, because she banged other students, and I could have been one of them. And I was just like, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do this.
That's crazy. You just had like a
scared.
pedophile working at your school. That's wild.
Yeah, dude.
I'm scared. It came out. It came out, and I was just like, she was fucking fine. And I was just
Did
like,
that come out? Did it come out?
it
Actually,
very
she
much
got
so
exposed?
came out. Very much so
she
came
got
out.
a fine-
Is she in prison?
I don't know about
Probably not.
I don't know about
Probably
it.
not.
She
It's a
definitely-
woman,
She probably
so
got incarcerated for a
women-
while, a little bit.
Women aren't
She
allowed
probably
to be
got probation.
pedophiles.
She probably got probation.
She probably got
Well, I
incarcerated.
guess
definitely.
societally, that's how people treat it. It's kind of crazy.
It
but
really
it's
is fucking
kinda true.
insane to me. Like the level of, I don't know, man. I that is something there's something about that really is so infuriating to me on like a deep level where it's like they as a group they don't.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't fathom it. Like that's a pedophile.
You know,
like that's objectively a pedophile.
By
Yes.
a short
By definition.
objectivity.
By definition,
But
yes.
the one thing that is so obvious why society doesn't give a shit is because of the power dynamic. Even like, and what I mean by that, I'm talking about real power and strength, where it's like a boy is supposed to still be like a man in this scenario, so they don't see it as the woman taking advantage of, like they have a hard time trying to do that when, you know, because like even the like say the
several things,
boys,
Derek. It's
the
several
boys
things.
that
You're right
I'm
about
talking
that.
about. Well, think about it from the perspective of how many women do you know? Sorry, not women. What I mean is girls, like high school girls. How many high schools do you know would be bragging to all their homegirls that like, yeah, I fucked the shit out of, this teacher versus, the male counterparts that obviously are celebrating the fuck out of that. Just societally, people have made it in this way to be totally excusable.
After you do that, bro, your homies are like, "Yo, you're not paying for anything today, dog. We got you. You're the GOAT." And it's like, damn,
he's the jolly good fellow. Like the way
they're
that
tossing you
the
up,
behavior
bro.
is so toxic.
They're tossing you into the sky. Meanwhile, you're trying to figure out what you just did and really understand that something kind of wrong has happened.
Like you don't figure that out until
your homies are dancing with you, bro.
I feel like you wouldn't figure that out until you started to get around that person's age. You're like, fuck. Like, what the fuck was I thinking? The fuck was I really thinking?
It's the ability to reflect, because it's like you have a moment to sit down and think, and you're like, dang, that's kind of crazy. That was a grown ass adult.
Yeah,
and that's it. The moment you become an adult, like for real, mentally, that's when that shows up. Where you're like,
when you're that age, especially like when you're the age of the people. You know what I mean? Like I'm 30 now, so like now it's like, oh man, I can't even fucking imagine. I can't even.
How do you think?
Imagine.
How do you think?
I was 13 flirting with like fucking 26-year-olds and shit like that, and now I look back and I'm like,
yeah, see, that's
thank
very
God
wild,
they have like self-respect. Thank God, because like
that's very
what
wild.
the fuck was I thinking?
Well, how do you think you would have behaved? How do you think you would have? Because like, most teenagers in general all talk a big game. It's all bullshit,
of course.
But there are a handful of them that mentally, maybe because of trauma in their past, grow up way faster than most people, and they can handle shit like that. But how do you think you would have handled that? Say, for example, just 25-year-old teacher, and you're fucking 16, y'all smash. Do you think that would affect you today, or do you think that like you probably would just reflect on it and be like, "Well, that's fucked up"? Like, how do you think you would have? How do you think you would have?
Young, because the thing of this,
it's hard to say, right? But I guess
young me, had a very traumatizing experience having sex the first time. It was definitely a very like not. Thanks for laughing at me. You suck, Derek.
Sorry.
Holy shit, Derek. Bro, you're so lucky. You're
look. I'm
lucky. You're so lucky. I worked through this. You're so lucky this is something I worked through on my own. Or else I would be like, what the fuck?
Look, I'm not a therapist.
Loser.
So first and foremost. My first encounter was not good, but it should...
You guys are fucking cunts, dog. Oh my god.
So I want to. This is I'm still immature.
You have trauma from sex. You have sex trauma.
Yes, my immature mind is immediately in a snap instant is just picturing you like, I don't know, crying and like you're getting your dick sucked and you're like crying or some shit. Like, so
fucking snot coming out of my nose and shit like
but, I know you've mentioned this before though. Did you? I don't remember if you shared what happened, what made it so traumatic.
I definitely did. I'm pretty sure, but
yeah.
My first time I slept with somebody was definitely like kind of very much so like not. I wouldn't want to say forced because she didn't like force up on me, but it was very much so I wasn't ready, and I was kind of vocal about like. Obviously, you talk a big game and you get there and you're like, I don't know if I want to do this. And she was like, let's just do it. And I was just like, I don't really want to. And she's like, let's just come on, let's just like, there's no better time to do it than now. And I was like, okay. And then I did it and I did not have a good time at all. And then like my cousin picked me up. I called my cousin from prom. He picked me up and I cried to him about it. And he was just like, damn, bro. Because my cousin's a thug. So he was just like, you fucking piece of shit. My cousin's like a super thug. He's like super thuggish. So he was just like, I was like, yo, I didn't like banging girls. Does that make me gay? And he was like, nigga, I don't know, nigga. Like, nigga, I don't think you gay, nigga. Come on, man, nigga, you bugging, nigga. Come on, son. Nigga.
He couldn't accept that at all either. He's like, come on, get the fuck out of here with that shit.
No, he was just like, nigga, it's weird, nigga. Like, just, come on, it's weird sometimes, but nigga, like, it's alright, nigga. That's exactly how he was speaking to me too. He was in like his super hoodlum phase of his life because he was like maybe like he was maybe like 19, first year of college, And he was just like, nah, man, this crazy shit happens, son. You know, like, you're just bugging. You know, he's going, you're trying to figure out what you're trying to do, man. Like, it's not that big of a
It's interesting.
It's, I don't know, man. Like, it's weird to be like, I don't really want to do this, and then have that argued.
And get roped into it.
I've definitely had that experience like many, many times. It was like, I don't really want to do this, and it's like 30 minutes of convincing, and it's like, okay,
I've been technically. Do you see how conditioned
thing, right?
I am?
Exactly.
Right.
How
conditioned
I have literally have been assaulted. If you want, let me be with my real, actual words. It just, the way I'm conditioned, it doesn't feel real to me, but it is real. I have to get up at work early in the morning. Chick did not take no for an answer. Pulled my pants down and went to work, kind of a thing. Completely uninterested. Passed out while I was doing it because I was that fucking tired. And it's weird, man. It's weird. The dichotomy is kind of fucked up.
Dude,
it's weird, but at the same time, I wouldn't count that. Let
me say this real quick. Most guys that I have ever known have experiences like this. Absolutely. Yeah. 1,000,000%. I have not spoken with one person who has not had an experience like that. And it is just, we don't take it seriously.
We do not.
It's fascinating.
We do not.
That's like a fascinating
I was even
thing.
like, my language was going to be like, I have a hard time even saying it, admitting it.
Right, because you don't want to call it that, because that's a heavy thing to call it. And if you're conflicted about it, then that's like a whole nother thing. Where it's like, I don't know. It
feels almost disrespectful. Even though it literally is the same thing, it feels almost like it's not. And that's probably just because of conditioning.
We definitely don't allow that to be true in some way. Like, I remember reading a statistic a long time ago where it's like, and I remember feeling immediately like it was bullshit, where it's like 1 in or like 3 in 5. I don't remember the exact statistic, right? But it was like 3 in 4 women or 3 in 5 women experience sexual assault. And you know what that statistic is for men? 0. And I remember being like, that's not true.
That's crazy.
That is absolutely
that's a weird thing
to
say.
That is
That's a weird thing to say.
No, but that was a believed thing. Like in 2016, 2015, anytime before that, that was like a unanimously agreed upon thing where it's like, men don't get sexually assaulted. Right. Like, that was a genuine fact to most people.
And
I remember thinking that, dude,
what chimpanzee believed that?
I think it's like passively people just like, well, yeah. Dude, I think people just passively believed it.
Literally, most people thought that. Like, I remember being taught that in like a class. Like, I remember feeling like that. I feel like that's not real.
I've never experienced that.
I feel like what that is a lot of men don't talk about that stuff, and a lot of men don't 100%. Identify it as that stuff. But if we're talking about like the ingredients, of a situation of what makes up that kind of experience, every man I've ever known has had that experience. And quite frankly, every woman I've known has had that experience as well. Like, it's like a unanimous kind of experience that a lot of people have in some way, shape, or form or another, and that's depressing. But it's actually, but it's
a lot
real.
Of fucking monsters.
And I remember
100%.
people being like, "Oh, you're trying to diminish it." It's like, no, I don't think 3 in 5 women experience sexual assault. I think probably the overwhelming majority of them do, and I think a shocking degree of men do too as well. And this is just, I don't know, man. I think people underreport it, men especially. Because why the fuck? It's just an emotional can of worms.
Once that happens, you're a bitch.
I'm gonna tell you right now. If I went for a walk today, and some fucking freak jumped me and fucked my ass, I probably wouldn't tell anybody. Holy shit. It's just
you would tell somebody you got beat up though, right? You'd probably tell, I got jumped.
I would tell. Yeah, I would definitely.
You know what's crazy? If you told me that, Derek, I would not want to, but I'd fear giggle.
That's like, what I'm saying. It's so wild that I'm like, I know, because even me though, it would be so fucked up that I would have to laugh about it if I ever talked about it, because of how just the way, like, I talk about conditioning. how absurd it seems to me because we don't take it seriously.
Fucking chuckle. Some nigga
Like, first of
giggling
all-
his ass off fucks you. And you gotta be like, you gotta go to the police and be like, officer, this guy laughing maniacally pulled my pants down and fucked me. And the cop's gonna be like, get the fuck out of here. Get the
cop's
fuck out of
gonna
here.
fucking laugh too. He's gonna be like,
Yeah.
they
be-
fucked you. You,
Yeah,
Kingston,
I don't know.
6'3". They held you down and fucked you. Like, you'd be like,
Hard.
and it's like listen to me laugh. Just the scenario of it, and it's like we have to do better.
They did.
Yeah, we definitely. We're not the generation that's gonna solve this.
No, absolutely
We're not the generation that's going to solve
I have
this.
hope for Gen Z because I feel like they're so much more open about, like, I mean, there's a wave of Gen Zers that, for example, are not afraid to paint their fingernails and toenails and stuff, and they're not afraid. They don't feel emasculated.
I'm glad we can finally do that, bro. Thank God.
Like, it's something that,
Jesus.
well, personally, like, it doesn't look, it's not an aesthetic for me. But I've had friends that have been in the metal industry that have painted their nails and stuff like that, like black and stuff. And I'm like, yeah, fine. But I've seen so many people open-toed, younger, and they're doing stuff like that. And other examples too, that they seem less constricted by, like, I don't want to appear
I don't want to seem
feminine,
gay.
I guess. Yeah. Like, they don't give a shit really. And I'm like, I have hope that.
That's good. Yeah.
We didn't do a good job.
I will beat you up though if I see you with painted fingernails in my house. But I'll beat you the fuck to death.
Oh.
But
100%.
But I'm happy that you're comfortable.
I want to do that. I want to paint my fingernails. I think that shit is cool.
I can't.
Then
I
man
can't
up and
care.
do it, pussy.
Huh?
I can't care about it. Like,
Do it, pussy.
I don't think I have a problem with it.
You think I won't do it? That's crazy. That is insane.
French tips, and then paint them.
No, I'm not doing French tips. Like, just having a color on your nails is fucking sick. That's just more expression. I think that's cool. I don't care.
I guess to me, I don't like fingernails in the first place. There's something about
like
the nail.
people that are queer. That's what it's saying right now. This is saying I don't like queerness.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying. I don't. There's something when I think too much about what a nail is, it really bothers me. Like, I don't like that they're there at all. So I don't like the idea of drawing attention to them. Like, it doesn't appeal to me at all. Like, I would have no interest in painting it. Also because, like, you have to sit there and, like, wait for it to dry, and it's a whole fucking process. I don't need this. But it is cool that people.
And the nail polish remover smells like diarrhea to me too. Like, I can't fuck with that.
I
shit.
can't.
I like it. It makes my head loopy. Makes my brain thin.
I don't know.
I'm not about that life, but like, hey, fair play.
Anyway,
we got to do questions, dude. We fucking
we gotta do questions.
Well,
whatever.
We do like
it's
two
a Christmas
questions?
episode. It's a Christmas episode,
Okay,
so
fair.
obviously we're gonna get into sexual assault. Why wouldn't we? Were there any teachers that, like, because I gotta be honest, I gotta be completely straight up here. I don't like there was at least one teacher in my school that I was like, I mean, I would have no issue.
Middle school.
I would have
middle
no
school.
issue.
Middle school, obviously, no chance. We're in middle school. They
Middle
weren't going to
school's
touch
crazy.
any of us.
That's
insane.
That's
You're not in Latin
Everybody
America,
was-
bro. In Latin America,
was-
middle schoolers
okay.
be putting in work, bro. My uncles have sauced up so many of the teachers at like fucking 11, and I'm like,
Dude,
that's insane.
I hate hearing about like different cultures
That's
and like
insane.
You hear about how common this shit is in a lot of other cultures, and I'm like, I don't want to.
Pregnant
talk about it anymore,
year-olds,
'cause
the
it's
shit
so-
I've heard about so often.
That's what I'm saying. I don't like.
I have two aunts that are 12 years older than their kids. I have two aunts like that.
Oh my god.
Their kid, they are 36 and their kid is 23, 24. Two of them. And then one is like 40 and the kid is like 30.
That's like old
29,
school shit,
30.
man. Like,
and it's
like
disgusting, dude.
That's like
they're
old school
pretty
shit.
much
That's what we used to be.
siblings.
Oh, you can you're bleeding? Well, I guess we can fucking impregnate you now. And I'm like, dude,
That's so fucking it's insane.
it's so dark, man. That's what they used to do back in the day.
dark.
But yeah. But no, I would say in high school there was a student teacher, in my graphics class that would show up every once in a while, and every guy was like would break their neck because she was some fucking random white chick, but she had the fattest ass. It was like, what is happening? It was like everyone was like,
so, look, that happens. That will happen. Now to be clear, if she would have done, if I would have had that opportunity with that teacher, she still would have been a massive creep. That's very creepy.
Sure.
Still.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. That doesn't change. But I do think, like, I don't know, like, would it bother me today? No. Like, me, personally, like, if I had gone through that, I don't think so.
I don't think it would have bothered me. I think it would have bothered you,
I think there's
Kingston.
a level...
I think it would have bothered you.
I would have bothered me for sure, but I would have done it. That's the thing. I think I would have done it. I would, like, the thing about me is that, like, post like my going through and not becoming a virgin, after that, like, that few years until I, like, moved here and Lily rewired my mind into, like, what a healthy relationship should be, at least as healthy as a relationship is.
Yeah.
Before that, I was wilding. I was wilding out. I was, like, doing shit I shouldn't have been doing. But
yeah.
Like, after, like, because that teacher was before I was, like, I lost my virginity. I was, like, maybe, like, 15. And I was, like, I should just go. I should go over there. I should do this. And then I thought about it and I was like, I'm too scared to do this. If she would have offered it to me right after I turned 17, I'd be like, oh yeah, it's jackpot. It's time. It's time. I would have stopped by the Walmart, got my equipment, and I would have went over there with no problem at all, dude.
My equipment.
I would have got all my tools and weapons, and I would have done all that. But
let's get out of some other questions. Chris.
That's another trauma I don't need. I don't need it.
Yeah, probably.
Fair enough.
Yeah, probably would have. I mean, who am I kidding? Probably would have. I don't know. Whatever. Chris, you broke ass, crayon eating, no brain, Titan player. Hello,
damn, dude.
Salvation's grip, I guess. Colony and Darcy. If someone asks you, what your favorite songs are, is it socially acceptable to answer with video game music? No. No, it's not. If your favorite song is video,
it's fine.
I love video game music. Make no mistake. In fact, they're like my preferred listening generally, like when I'm throughout the day and working. But if your favorite song is a video game song, like you're fucking crazy.
I feel like it would only work because people usually expect you to answer with the song that has lyrics in it, and so it would have to be like, say, like that Snake Eater shit or something. Like it's a proper song. Like,
yeah,
I think,
but
like,
dude, if someone told you that their favorite song was Snake Eater, though, like,
well,
that's
I'll
wild.
Be honest, I would think they were lying. That's how I would feel.
Of course they're lying.
Like, oh, you're trying to say a cool answer. Like, you're trying to be that guy. Like, I always feel like about those hipster types that say some shit like that, where I'm like,
yeah, or like fucking what is it? When was it Vivek Ramaswamy was like, or what was it? I can't remember if it was him or somebody else, but like one of the conservative people, when they were like, here's my Spotify list or whatever, and one of them had like Mozart. Shut the fuck up! Like, you're not listening to Mozart.
Yeah, like, some people do, right? Some people listen to Mozart, right?
All right,
but
yeah.
Like,
I'll put on some Mozart and some Bach and
some people
some shit every once in a while.
Because some people are some people are they're like, if you're trained classically musically, you'll listen to that shit. You actually like it. If that's like,
yeah, but
actually the kind of music you're trained.
But your friend Ron isn't listening to Mozart. He's not.
Like
he's not sitting there
one of
like,
my good friends' old roommates.
Honestly, can I say something? If I went to your house one day and I opened the door and you were sitting there in silence listening to like fucking Moonlight Sonata or something, I would leave. I would not continue the day.
It does feel a little weird. It does feel a little weird. Like you're just sitting down on the couch and the Moonlight Sonata's playing. And you're just like, what? You fucking like Beethoven? What's the problem?
Just like fucking.
I don't know.
I like songs like let me listen. Like it's the Dance Macabre. Like I like that song, right? Good song. But I don't listen to that shit. Like if I'm writing, if I got to get into a real like imaginative mindset, I'll put that shit on and I'll write to it.
What did you say?
Dance Macabre.
Oh, Dance Macabre. Oh, a Ghost.
Huh?
Is that from Ghost or who's that? What are you talking about?
No, it's from freaking St. Sean. Camille St. Sean?
There's
It's like it's old timey music. It's old.
Oh wait. Dude, don't tell. Hold on a second.
I might have said it wrong.
No. You're probably right. But this
Dance
Ghost
Macabre
has
is a song by Ghost.
Dad's, but like
Dance Macabre is a song by Ghost. It's also an album by Duran Duran, had an album called Dance Macabre. But
Jesus Christ.
It's,
okay. All right.
Then there's like Swan Lake. There's like
how every once in a while you realize songs are covers. I almost thought I just got my mind blown right now. That's what I was.
But like those are
what was the most recent one of those? There was a song recently
I heard
that we talked about on the podcast that you got. Black Magic Woman by Fleetwood Mac.
Oh right, yeah, because I literally had no idea. Yeah,
it's crazy.
But like,
that's still
really
crazy.
insane.
That's still crazy to me.
Yeah.
It almost makes me feel like Santana's a fraud.
That is crazier to me.
Don't say that.
That is crazier to me. That is crazier to me than AC/DC being Australian. You know, like I didn't know that for the longest time, and that was shocking. But that's not as shocking as finding out Black Magic Woman is by fucking.
I would say I would agree with you. I think that is a little more shocking because to me, when I think of Santana, I do think of Black Magic Woman. Now I have to erase that from my memory and think of Smooth.
Smooth, yeah. With Rob Thomas.
No.
So let me. I don't know, man. Like, if your favorite, it's weird for your favorite song to be video game music, but I mean, like, it's fine, I guess. Like, you're not committing a crime. I just think it's weird for like even for classical stuff. Like, it's like, oh hey, my favorite song is "The Entertainer" by Scott Joplin, and it's like, that's crazy. That's crazy. If that's your favorite song, that's crazy. But
I don't agree exactly. Because it depends on how you listen to music. Some people don't listen to some people listen to classical.
Yeah, they're outliers.
Motherfuckers that play that shit. Look, okay, maybe not Entertainer. Okay, maybe not Entertainer. But people listen. Not that. Look, that's just ice cream music. That music, all it does is alert me is ice cream truck near. That's it.
That is psycho's favorite music. That is, yeah. 100%. It's like, can we come over to my house? We can listen to The Entertainer 5-hour loop.
What kind of child would you develop if you played that music to them when they went to bed? They'd either be like a very cheery, happy kid, or they would be fucking scary.
Oh, there's no.
Because they might be like a happy kid, like, oh, this song makes me happy.
American Psycho. They're American Psycho.
I remember dancing to this song when I was little.
Let's be real.
They would be.
And his dance is him stabbing a doll. His little dance. He's doing a little dance. It's just him stabbing his fucking doll.
I really want. Now that I've mentioned this, I want to have sex to The Entertainer. I want to have like a normal playlist going. I want to have a normal playlist going just for one song, just for the lead up. Like the foreplay is like maybe like, I don't know, one 5-minute song, and then it goes into the next song, and it's like during full on. It's Scott Joplin's The Entertainer on the original ragtime piano too. Not even like a remaster or like a modern version.
Good old piano. Yeah, dude.
Ragtime.
That would be
fucking to ragtime piano.
Yeah,
I love
that's
that
sick
image.
as fuck. That's sick as fuck. Like in the middle of your playlist. That's so awesome. Like it's just all normal background ambiance, and then all of a sudden, that's amazing. That's amazing.
It's like Sex Tape by Deftones.
Yeah.
And then,
yeah.
And then The Entertainer.
That's awesome.
You're like stroking her up good, and then like all of a sudden that comes on, and you start getting silly in the bedroom. Like you get on top of her, you like there's a moment where you're dancing on her back, and she doesn't know how you got there, but you're like dancing on her back, juggling, and then all of a sudden you're back to doing what you're doing. It's like
it's that drawing of it's that famous image from the Dr. Seuss book of like the Cat in the Hat on the ball. Yeah. That's your attitude. Yeah. That is the vibe that you are fucking exuding.
You're just amazing. Silly. You're just at the point where you've hit terminal silly. Everything's a joke and a laugh. Everything sounds like you're spinning a fucking little propeller hat on your head. Everything's going nuts.
What if you do the complete opposite though? What if you're hitting her really? You're beating it up. And then that shit kicks in. You just fucking actually sensually start kissing her in her thighs and stuff. And you start like really sensually like playing with her. Like, you really try to set it like some slow jams are on it. And she's like, what the fuck's happening? And you're like, shh. and you try to make it as sensual as possible. You somehow dim the lights even more and shit. And while that shit is fucking,
you know what I would do?
Like,
you know what I would love to do? You know what I would love to do? I would love to do that. And then all of a sudden, like, the lights flicker and there's a clown in a corner of the room. Like a clown in the corner of the room. And just
Aren't you afraid of clowns?
I am afraid of clowns, but that would scare Lily more than it would scare me. It would scare her way more. There's like, when there's a clown, you hear honk, and then the lights flicker immediately again, and it's gone. And she's
one of
just
my
like,
biggest,
Kinks, what was that? And I'm like, what do you mean?
One of my biggest regrets, I think, was when we lived together. When we lived together, me, Jalen, and Joe had like this idea that we were gonna rent, or not rent, but like buy clown costumes, and then just like wake you up in the middle of the night screaming. And we never did it. And I think my biggest regret is that we never did that.
That's insane.
Because that
would have been amazing footage if you had it.
I would have ate one of you guys. I would have ate one of you guys, and that would have just been it. I would have just went to jail. I would have harmed one of my friends for no reason, and I would have went to jail for cannibalism. And like, what happened?
Kingston,
like, my friends decided to just be clowns, and I bit one of their throats out, and now I'm here.
You have to admit. You have to admit, though, if that footage existed, it would probably be like, that would be like a really viral clip.
You would have just created a Columbine version of myself. I would have lost my mind. I would have just became Dark Ending Kingston. That's it.
It's Columbine Kingston. Here he is.
It would have been like, that's my Dark Urge ending. It would have just been like the bad ending for Kingston.
That's your Mr. Scratch. Crimson wrote in. Crimson wrote in. He says, "Hello, Mo, Larry, and Curly. I guess. Oh, the Three Stooges, right? Incredible.
The three F slurs.
This.
Go ahead.
I like how this person's clearly Crimson. You're clearly 30 plus years old, and I know that. I know that purely because you know who the Three Stooges are.
You know who the
even
Three
thought to make
Stooges
that reference. It is crazy, by the way, that we even know who the Three Stooges are when you consider how fucking ancient they are, even to us. But regardless, not a question, but a follow-up. If you thought Miles was getting absurd, you'll absolutely love Japanese Spider-Man, especially the story of his mech. I have seen that.
Oh, yeah.
I don't like it.
That shit's cool as fuck.
You know what's even better? Italian Spider-Man.
Yeah.
What does he do?
If you haven't seen Italian... Oh, my God.
Does he spin pasta, actually?
If you haven't... No, so Italian Spider... So there's this... I can't remember what the name of the studio is. I forgot. It's been too many years. But they also made a series called Danger 5. And they actually used to be on Netflix, which it was shocking to me that they actually got on Netflix for a while. But Danger 5 is one of my favorite things of all time. Please go check it out if you haven't seen it. But they made Italian Spider-Man before that. And I'll just put it this way. Spider-Man looks like Ron Jeremy with a shotgun. I'm just going to put it that. That's all I need to say.
I totally forgot. That's so funny. I love Danger 5.
Danger 5 is fucking incredible. Do you know how I found Danger 5? So I knew about Italian Spider-Man, and then I didn't know they made anything else after that. All of a sudden, I'm on Tumblr in whatever year, 2011, whatever the fuck it was, whatever year it was, and I see a GIF of a fucking dude. No. It is the dude with a fucking swastika insignia and a chainsaw, and the chainsaw's on fire. And it's like one of those, when those dudes are big, like it's like when they fight mechs and shit. And I was like, what the fuck is this? Like, it's the craziest thing I've ever seen. And
Danger 5 is great.
It's such a great show. It only had 2 seasons, but the first season was Netflix was crazy back then because it also had Kung Fury. They were putting on shit that like. It seems like there was a fan of like just obscure bullshit for a while that was working at Netflix greenlighting stuff because they don't put stuff like that on there anymore.
That was old.
Yeah, not
old school
really.
Netflix was crazy. I remember old school like 2008 or 9 Netflix. The shit you'd find all of the shit that everybody talks about, but you'd find like absurd stuff on there too. They were just like, "What the fuck is this doing on top?"
2008, 9 here. They were still they were still doing
streaming back then.
Yeah,
they were doing video.
They were just doing the streaming era stuff.
They were doing video, and I had to convince my mom Like, stop renting, stop mailing in DVDs from Netflix, because Netflix used to you would rent DVDs from them, and I was like, Mom, you can stream now. Like, I set it up for her on her PS3. I was like, for sure, 2009.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
2009.
So January 2007 is when Netflix online streaming first came to video. But what was confusing me was it wasn't available on console until 2008. Because I remember Xbox. I remember the Xbox 360 had Netflix streaming exclusivity for a while. Like, I remember that.
Yeah, 2010 probably.
Yeah, 2009 and 2000. Yeah.
I remember 2010. I was
exclusively
exclusively streaming on Xbox 360, and that's when I saw Batman the Red Hood, and I was like, "This is the fucking greatest." I was like, man, they're really stepping up their game with animated movies. Because, like, the Red Hood's still like one of my favorites with fucking John DiMaggio as the Joker. That's a great one.
That's great.
It's a fucking great one. Yeah.
It's like Mask of the Phantasm is one of my favorites too.
That's like, classic. I wish I would have got to see that in the theater, man. Like, they released that in the fucking theater.
I never. Yeah, that would have been nuts.
Like, yeah.
But
fuck.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. Danger 5 is great. You should definitely watch Danger 5 if you haven't watched Danger 5. It has this 100%. I don't know how to. There's no way to explain it. You just have to watch it. It is so good. It's very. It reminds me a lot of. There's a British kind of, not a British version of it, but there's a British show that's very much kind of like it in that same kind of vein. It's a lot more dry, obviously, because it's British, but it's called Garth Marenghi's Dark Place, and it is.
I haven't seen that.
It's a similar. It's not the same premise, but it's a similar vibe. This like kind of like low budget, almost like there's like ADR. Where there doesn't need to be. It's and there's just the delivery on it. It's so weird. It's about like this amazing. It's like a Dr. House kind of scenario, but it's set more like an 80s kind of Twin Peaks type deal. There's a scene where a guy explodes in a hospital room. He explodes and his head's on the ground, and he's the head's like, "Can you put me out of my misery? It really hurts." And it's the dumbest. It's so fucking stupid, but it's so good. Both of those things are highly recommended from me.
Hell yeah.
But anyway, the last one.
Hitler.
And as always, kill Hitler.
Kill Hitler.
As always.
Yes.
Cream Queen.
So good.
Cream Queen Sween wrote and he says, "What's up, fuck snarks? You guys have bad nicknames."
God damn.
I think it's you know what it is? I mean, you're homeless. I can't blame you.
It's the lack of walls and warm and insulated heat.
It just fries their brain. First time Patreon supporter, long time listener. Welcome aboard. Thanks for finally becoming homeless. This is for Chris, and not a question, but I was going through my grandmother's pantry and found not one, but two completely sealed glass Snapples, and I can't think of anyone else who would adore them more than Chris. So if there's any way that I can get them to you, a fellow New Yorker, let me know. Look, man, I'm fine. I will let you know. I have a full case of unopened glass Snapples in my parents' house in New York. I don't need any extra ones. You enjoy that one, all right? Shake it up, hit the bottom. Do that little pound at the bottom, crack the seal, enjoy it yourself. I give you permission. I have plenty. I'm saving them for when they inevitably bring them back and admit that it was a fucking stupid decision, like they did with everything else, like they did with fucking chicken fries back in like the mid 2000s, where they're like, "Oh, nobody wants chicken fries," and now it's like the only thing people go to Burger King for. So why would you stop doing that? Stupid. But yeah, you can. I appreciate it, but it's not necessary. And I guess that wasn't really a question. So to wrap it up, a really quick one. Randeep Kang. Sup, guys? What's your opinion on how H3's show ended with Hassan? That shit was wild. I think that was pretty obvious. That was like, I was wondering when that would happen. It is kind of fascinating to me that Ethan has two podcasts now that have just kind of unceremoniously ended.
Shit,
in like it's strange. It's a strange pattern. I wonder what the third one's going to be.
As soon as the Hamas thing came, from what I've seen so far, when it comes to people that are on each side of that conversation, very on like stakes on each side, I've never seen a middle ground be reached ever.
Yeah, it's impossible.
In conversation, in like just
for the activists. For the activists specifically.
I've never seen them. And I'm talking about people that have actual stakes in it. Not like us or like another person you'd know. Like people that are like family on each side, they cannot and will not meet a middle ground.
But see, the weird thing about that is,
and it's insane.
My experience is totally different when I see people who are like, for example, I've seen people who have had family, Palestinians directly killed, but are still being reasonable about the scenario of what is actually happening, and vice versa, of saying I had people that were close to me that were brutalized by Hamas, but that doesn't justify killing 5-6 times more than, you know what I'm saying? Like there's people now, usually people are telling them to shut the fuck up, which is kind of crazy. But the one thing that I, going back to the Ethan, because this is what it's really about, is what weirded me out is how famous, how influential Ethan Klein is and how well off he is. And the thing that I just can't understand is the reason why that show ended specifically is because Ethan could not stop reading Reddit and fucking Discord. And what baffles me is if I were in the position of Ethan Klein, that my eyes would never lay. I couldn't even. I don't really read. I don't do that shit now. It's just not. But like, say if I was set with that type of money, I am fucking doing only shit that I love, and I am not diving, because he specifically was like, I was seeing your Discord, Hassan, because it's unofficial one. It's the unofficial official, right? Because he didn't start it. It organically came up. And reading all of the stuff that was going on in there was all these fucking horrible people saying terrible things about Ethan and all this shit. And I'm like, the fact that you're seeking this shit out, dude, is really where I'm like, I want to talk to you, brother. Like, I want to be like, why would you even do that when you know how fucked up some people are? That they're going to say the worst shit imaginable. And it killed him. He came back on one of his shows, one of his podcasts, and he was like, this shit kept me up. It really bothered him. And I'm just like, bro, if I did that, what he did, like say even when I made videos shitting on Joe Rogan because he was being such an idiot during the pandemic. And if I read every single comment, yeah, I'd probably be pretty fucking annoyed too. Because there was a lot of fanboys of Joe Rogan that were just saying probably some really not colorful things about me that normally they wouldn't say to him.
They were colorful.
That's what I mean.
They're probably colorful. Exactly. They probably weren't. They weren't savory. They're probably very colorful. Probably very color oriented.
Absolutely. And so purposefully, I mean, okay, I'm not gonna read all that shit because you already know what all you're gonna do is hurt yourself by diving into all of that shit because it's not constructive criticism. They're just talking shit. And so eventually they kept having these crazy disagreements. They already had healthy conversations on the show itself and basically agreed to disagree. They both literally had moments where they cried, but then all of a sudden Ethan's like, I'm going to dive deep into all of this stuff. And he's like an old school type of person that just can't stay off. He reminds me, not to the same degree, but we've all kind of said, Boogie, stay the fuck off the internet. Stop reading all this shit. Stop responding to these people. And they can't help themselves about it for different reasons.
The problem is that he's older, right? And he's an older person. His family's from one of the places where those things are. He's objective, one of the groups. He's also Jewish. Granted, that is a lot of being a Jewish person historically and seeing the way the Jewish government is behaving right now has to be tough. It has to be a really, really tough thing to see how, you guys were the ones that were being kicked around for centuries, and now you guys are doing the kicking around. It must be a tough thing. And it's also something that, like, I could almost believe this isn't fake because of the history of the peoples involved, Simply because because, like, look at this. Like, look at what's happening. Like, they sailed over the water and just started killing people on the beach. That fucking really happened. That wasn't like a fucking thing. People were like, that's not some shit that we do in America. We would lie about it. Where the Americans, like fucking the MAGA people would be like, they're stealing our things. Look at it. The frogs. No, that straight up was a real thing that happened. People sailed across the water and murdered other people for not the best reason. So like, it's an insane thing. I think Ethan just takes too much. He's too close to the problem. He's just standing too close to the fire to see those situations right now. But I think that's a lot of people, because I really hope that situation gets cleared out, because everyone is just so barred and armed towards one another. It makes my heart hurt.
It's crazy, but you have to know, being as big of an influencer or whatever, I hate that word, but still, being as big as he is, and he's not a dumb person, that it's like, you gotta know you're gonna Discord. Dude, I hate Discord. I truly, it brings, it's like an extension of 4chan almost in some people's servers. So you'll find, like, in certain chats and whatever, some of the worst people on the internet. And you got to know, when it comes to something this heated, like, you're specifically, what did you think you were going to find on Hassan's Discord by reading all that shit? Did you think it was going to be everybody being like, oh, everything's great, when there's these radical people that are just defending Palestinians at all costs, that to the point where some of them are even just defending Hamas? Like, did you thought you weren't going to find that? Did you seriously think you weren't gonna, so once he sought it out and found it, it hurt, it destroyed his heart. And it's like, this is somewhat of a representation of Hassan, at least how he felt, which I feel is a little unfair, because I'm like, Hassan doesn't feel that way. They've had very productive, like I said, conversations on, I watched their leftovers and their talks about that shit. And they had 4-hour fucking conversation, very productive about this shit, very understanding on each other's points and sides and stuff. And then, it's like, damn. And inevitably, that shit, it just, they had a falling out. They've had more arguments because of this stuff, because of that catalyst. And, it's unfortunate, because I actually thought it was the podcast started off horrible. I thought it was terrible. But then they started to actually gain some chemistry, and ultimately, because the things that I don't like about Hassan, he doesn't do in that podcast, which is steamroll and be like a complete piece of shit. And then Ethan started to become less of like this is my show, I'm going to talk whenever I want. And it actually started to become like, I was like, this is actually a pretty good show to talk about some shit that, a lot of people don't talk about on that high of a level of podcast, I guess. And so it's kind of unfortunate that it's gone, but hey, man, if he's still got all his other shit going on, so he's fine. They're both fine. They're both fucking fine.
The streamer awards happened this week. Didn't that shit happen?
Oh yeah, I didn't.
Tandem Mojo would go up to Ian and be like,
I've never watched that. Oh yeah, I forgot about it. They had their reconciliation.
I would have swung on that bitch. I'm like, nigga, don't touch me. Don't you ever touch me, nigga. Don't you ever touch Ian just cold cocks her, bro. Don't fucking this wild.
I don't even I probably, my first reaction would be like, there's no way that's real. There's no way that happened. And and then when finding out that it's real, I didn't know, I don't know what to think. I'd be like,
why'd he hit her like that?
Why'd he do it?
And it's a set. Like, he shakes free, squares up, starts cursing at her, and then cold cocks her, bro.
It's weird. That would make so many people happy. You know what I mean? Like, so many people would be like, yeah, finally.
That would make the wrong kind of people. It'd be the wrong kind of people and me happy. That's it. It would make. Yeah. It would make Kingston very happy, because I don't like Tandem Mojo at all, and then it'd be like very not great group of people happy as well.
I did. Yeah, I saw that clip of them going around and her like, say forgiveness, and I thought it was like, that's kind of, there's something kind of nice. I don't know. It made me smile
nice about that.
Seeing that. There was like, there's something, because it's so long ago, and seeing like this kind of full circle thing happen. Yeah, it's just kind of like, oh, it's. I wish, I don't know, I guess for me, I look at it as, and this might not be true for them, But I look at it as like, oh yeah, this is the internet. And it's not really that fucking serious. You know what I mean? Like there's something about it where it's like there are people that I've made videos about or that I have like insulted for sure that I do not fucking remember today. Like I just straight up do, like I think I had somebody come up to me. It's like, hey, you made a joke about me a couple years ago. I was like, oh, I don't remember who. I sincerely like I don't remember.
What did you do?
Maybe I don't know.
Why did you say something stupid? Why did you say something stupid and make fun of you?
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like I've never made fun of anybody who didn't. I think didn't rightfully have like I'd never sent like death threats to anybody or fucking did anything crazy. I just like, hey, that's a really dumb thing for you to say. Right. But you know, I don't care about it really, like on a deep level to the point where I'm carrying it around with me for years and years and years.
Oh hell no.
So like I don't know, seeing them together in that context with that kind of meme, kind of repurpose was like, it's probably the only example of like a physical manifestation of that attitude that I've actually seen occur in real time, where it's like, oh, it really isn't that big of a fucking deal.
Yeah.
It's just the internet.
You know, I thought it was interesting.
We're not
Tana,
at each other's throats and like fucking, you know, hating each other to the core of each other's being. I appreciate that. Yeah. But anyway, what were you saying?
Oh, I was just adding to what you were saying is I think Tana was streaming around the time or maybe I think she was reacting to his apology video when he put out that one video about like, I wish the real IDubs was back or whatever. And she was saying, she was like, she didn't even think he had a reason. She didn't even think he really should have apologized. She actually was like, yeah, at the time I was a complete fucking idiot, and like the reflecting on how she used to behave, and like she cringes at the thought of that. So there was no bad blood. It was not like, you know, at the time obviously she was upset, but as a much older woman, she was like, nah, like I was an idiot, and I understand why this dude went after me, even though, you know, obviously it's not the nicest way to go about it, but she understood that her behavior and being like, you know, just being some dumb white bitch and just using hard R's like it's nothing is not the smartest thing to do. And so it was interesting. Her reflection on it was very mature, and you know, she's a porn star now, so you know, a lot of those bitches actually have a lot of perspective on the world. It's interesting. I feel like a lot of sex workers have such a perspective on the world that a lot of people don't, because of the amount of people that they interact with.
They're very interesting to talk to, for sure. They're very different interesting to talk to.
Yeah.
Because when I get cum on my face, all I do is feel shame. For them, they get enlightenment. It's crazy. It's wild. It's wild the perspective you get, bro.
100%. Yeah. Shout out to Tana's tits, man.
I've never seen them. Not looking though.
Is she a sex worker? I didn't even know. I thought she.
Yeah, she. I found out because I used to. God, everyone's a fucking degenerate. Before I knew about the origins of Adam 22, that dude sucks. Like Jesus Christ, this fucking guy sucks. But like, yeah, he used to. I saw that they did some content back in the day. I thought it was fake, but apparently it was real. We're like, oh, we're gonna like. Adam 22 and somebody's gonna bang off camera and Tana's gonna give commentary, and then they were like talking about the whole industry, and it was like not too far afterwards she was basically being like, oh, I'm doing OnlyFans, and that's basically, I think she just makes her money because she doesn't. I've never seen her do anything as far as content.
She has a podcast.
Yeah, she does. She has a podcast. She had Matt Rife on.
Oh shit.
I remember, and she kind of cooked him a little bit. I remember.
Oh, that was her?
Yeah, that was the podcast.
What the fuck?
She looks also very different. There's something of Tana.
I didn't know that was her.
I don't know if it's just me, but like her face has never looked the same to me every time I've seen it. Like she looks different every time I see this person. Like I don't know what it is. I've been told that I have a face like that too, where it's like if people see me from different angles, I look like a completely different fucking person. So I get it. Maybe she's like one of those people, but.
One of those.
I did not recognize her in that clip with Matt Rife either, and I was like, "Oh shit, that's Tana Mojo."
Oh, interesting.
Well, she had sunglasses and a hat on, so that's probably why you didn't recognize her in that image.
No, but she didn't. Well, I guess so. Yeah,
she did not. Like you couldn't see her face.
No, but even in that. No, but what I'm saying, even in that clip of them together,
like
where
on her and Ian,
her and Ian, I'm like, You guys look very. I mean, Ian looks different than he used to, but he still looks like Ian.
Ian,
I don't know. Maybe I'm looking too deeply into it.
Items looks very
Ian
different.
Looks very different to me.
Looks very different now
because he has the mullet thing going on complete. Because one thing that stood out about Idubbbz to me mostly was his glasses and his forehead, and they're both gone essentially because it has the hair covering it up, and then his glasses gone. So it's like he looks. I'm like, if I saw him walking down the street, no, I'm so used to him looking like this now. But if that was my seeing him like this when I only remembered that guy, I wouldn't connect it immediately.
That's
but
fair.
Who's this fucking redneck? And then I'm
anyway,
like,
one thing I
it's
wanted
the N-word
to
guy.
read. One thing I wanted to read. We won't answer it because we technically answered this question on I think the last episode, so it's a double up. But it is a nice sentiment. Shut up, Sweeney. You're gay. Wrote in. Says hi, cutie babies. What is your most memorable gift that you've ever received for Christmas as a kid? I swear to God, we just answered this exact question.
It sounds like
so.
It, yeah.
It sounds like we did in the last episode. But they also read in. Also, thanks for keeping me sane. I'm curious as to what my brain looks like after binging the Sleepy Cabin podcast along with 160 episodes of the Snark Tank back to back. By the time I caught up real time, love you guys. That's a wild combination. That's a
lot to do, man.
So be careful with that. And with that, have a beautiful little fucking Christmas. Do all the holiday shit. Eat your I don't know what do people do for Christmas? If you
actually make what is it called, fruitcake? If you actually make fruitcake, you should be shot into the sun. No one really makes fruitcake. My grandma liked fruitcake, and my grandmother was also around when Hitler was around. So let that make sense to you. I want you all to know that I don't care about any of you. None of you mean anything to me. All that matters is the money you guys give me.
Your grandma was around when Hitler was around?
You. My grandmother's she was born in the 30s.
Your grandma's old?
I want you guys all to know that I'm coming for you. Every dollar you have, I'm taking it from you. I know your information. I know you guys live. I'm gonna show up in your house in the dark. When it's at its darkest, where you live is at its absolute darkest. I want you to know I'm behind you. I'm right behind you at that moment. When you are your most scared, I'm always near you. I want you to understand that.
As of right now, I want to let you know there's a quick little update about the podcast that that 50 Sweeney's cut of the money it just goes to us now. It's just, he's
at its darkest, at your house's literal darkest. When there is no light in your home, I'm in your house, ruffling through your fucking garbage. I'm picking your kid up off the bed and throwing him on the floor over and over and over again. You're gonna hear your kid scream like somebody lifted me up and threw me on the ground, and you're gonna know it was me that did that to your kid. I'm coming for you.
What are you doing? Like you're trying to be a poltergeist or something? What are you doing?
the scariest thing.
Kingston, it's me, Kingston, the Christmas poltergeist, here to throw your kid on the ground.
The idea of you hearing your kid scream, you go in there, your bedroom, your kid's on the floor. It's like, what happened? Some big black guy picked me up and threw me on the floor, Dad. I swear to God. It's like, what? That didn't happen. It's like, Dad, it just happened to me.
Shut up and go to sleep, you
stupid animal.
Get in your fucking bed before I fucking shoot you again. Get in your bed before I beat you again. I'll beat you again if you don't go to sleep.
Filthy animal. Did you? For the longest time, I thought that was a real movie. Did we talk about that?
I thought so too. I thought for sure that was a real movie. Until the high resolution version of the movie came out. And then you could see the title is like the title of the movie is like Angels with Filthy Souls. And I'm like, that's not a real fucking movie. That's so fucking ridiculous. But yeah, I totally thought that was real. But anyway, we're gonna move on to what?
I was gonna say the real update.
Oh yeah, the real update is aside from Kingston losing all of his shares of the money and they're all going to us. Kingston's now a freelancer. We are so we're going to double up on episodes. We're going to have episodes for an episode for Christmas, obviously the one you're listening to now. We're going to have an episode for New Year's, basically, or an episode for just before New Year's. We're going to have extra ammos to accompany them. But we're recording that all this week, basically. And the first week of January, we're going to take some lowdown time. So the first week of January, we're going to be taking it off. just so we can plan for some stuff. There's some merch stuff that we want to get to, definitely, and I want to just clear my schedule in that sense, just to get a clean handle on that. So first week of January, we're going to be taking a little bit of a break, but we'll be back. What, like the 7th or the 8th or something like that?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, early January we'll be there. So the question thread will still go up in time. We'll get to all your questions, obviously, and the schedule is going to remain the same. Episode extra ammo, 2 episodes extra ammo, 2 episodes extra ammo. But there's gonna be a little bit of a break.
Yes, sir.
So fuck you.
They call me Cuban Pete. I'm the king of the rumba beat.
Boom, chicky boom, chick, chicky boom, chick, chicky boom.
It's racist.
All right, bye.
I'm gonna read the names now.
I was about to leave. Okay, yeah.
All right, let's
read them all in one word. You got to say every name in
You got to go for
word.
it. You got to go for it. You got to go for it.
I
Okay,
can't.
3,
I can't.
3, 2, 1, go.
Doc on the bay, sitting on a cock because I'm gay. PPPPPPP, gay ABCs. Blow a dick, a female dick. Gay is what I will become. Leon Sam's, big meaty stinks, saucy legs, McGee, Gray McCollier. Josh, it wasn't me.
You took a breath. You took a breath, nigga.
I can't. It's not possible.
All right, in one syllable. Try it in one
by
syllable.
the way, also.
Okay, bye, niggas. Fuck y'all. Merry Christmas.
slow that audio clip down 5 million %, and you'll see that I actually read all of the names in complete, succinct order. So
you know what that
I want to call it
reminds
what?
Sorry. Family Guy. I think he said something. I think Peter said
totally
that he could recite. Do you remember that?
All the
I can
president.
say
all
every
the
word in the world
name.
in one sentence. Well,
Yeah, you're just jealous. It's a good joke. It's a stupid joke. Sitting on the cock because I'm gay is from that Ricky Gervais, Jerry Seinfeld, Chris Rock, and Louis C.K. interview. You're not fooling me. I study this stuff. I know. But thank you for writing in or for donating your $25. Thank you to all of our $25 patrons we are reading now. These are all of our $25 homeless patrons. Josh, it wasn't me, Giddy. Andy, the man whose handies are S tier and dandy. Evil Sween, be like, I'm skinny. Ben Shapiro, 100% stats. So fucking mean for no reason. Ben Shapiro, 100% stashed away one of his sister's bras when he was a teenager. Oh my God.
For sure.
That's so fucking crazy.
dog, pregnant her titties were insane. I still think about that, bro. Those
Shout
were wild.
out to Abby Shapiro's pregnant tits.
All right,
Those were-
Heath Smoker, Daddy Lars, the Uncle Ruckus of the Goon
that.
Squad.
She was like, damn.
I'm not gay. I'm feeling trans. Got man's dick in my ass. I'm he, him, but not for long. My penis is coming off. Send Sonic Symphony to Israel. They need that hog. Metal gay. Did you guys see that Jerry Seinfeld's in Israel right now, by the way? There's something so funny about that. I don't know why.
God,
I don't know why.
Is.
It's just, I mean, obviously he would be like that makes perfect sense, but like it's fun. I can't imagine that in any other context but a Seinfeld episode.
What is he donating cars to like the slaughtered families or something? What is he doing? The fuck is he doing?
I just feel like I just love the idea of him there, and just it's so not serious. You know what I mean? Like the idea of him being there.
Pretty fucked up.
He's like,
what a fucked up scenario.
Or like the idea of like what, like the hostages come up and they're talking to him like, oh man, Jerry, help us, and it's like,
pass him the megaphone.
Yeah. Or the idea of like he would find it like an awkward situation to be in a room full of people a family who have hostages, because it's like, well, none of them are any more special than the other one then, right? Like they're all kind of the same. Like none of them take priority over each other. They're all hostage people. How do I handle this? And there's like some awkward, like, I don't know, fucking George goes with him and refuses to tip. I don't know. I just can't. I can't see it in any. I can't see this as like a real trip to Israel for like a genuine humanitarian cause. I just look at it as like it's like what sitcom style shenanigans are going on. I must know. Metal Gay Solid 3 Sperm Eater featuring Solid Cock. Shut up, Sweeney, you're gay. The billboard posted on KSI's massive fucking forehead. Homeless trans femme who got laid off from Pizza Hut. That's rough.
Damn. Oof. Go to Domino's. They're better.
Go to Domino's, man. Go to Domino's. Alexander the Gay and Chris the Straight. Hard or flaccid? You're coming in me. That's wild. Screaming like the Nazgul when I come. Sucking down a Chris die cock. I mean die cock. I mean die cock. I mean die cock. Throw your cum in the air and spray it like you just don't care if you like dick and balls and all that gay shit, everybody. Cause I am loving just how gay I am. And if I wasn't, I'd hate just I'm a gaper for dudes. Y'all should know.
Which one's that?
Yeah. I don't know. Ben Shapiro tries to burp on a clit. Ben Shapiro tries to burp on a clit but vomits.
That's so fucking funny.
This is absolutely disgusting.
Wild. This is absolutely
That was absolutely disgusting. I cannot.
Hypothetically speaking, what if the pH balance here was so off? Stop with the Britain slander. It already sucks here. Listening to Sweeney makes me consider racism. Chris, you broke-ass, crayon-eating, no-brain Titan player. Baller of the first sin. You don't have to be afraid anymore. We are approaching episode 200. I would like to thank all the bitches, big bitches, small bitches, tall bitches, short bitches. Yeah, sure.
100.
Yeah. Chris, please look up pics of Dizzy. What? Gillespie? The fuck is this? That doesn't even sound like a real person. Dizzy.
Is that Daisy from Gears?
No. American band leader and composer?
What's their name? What's their name?
What the fuck?
Is their name Dizzy Lesbian?
What? Dizzy Gillespie. I wrote it in the chat so you could Google it. What the fuck? What is going on with his face, bro? Is that real? Is he sick?
I don't like this.
Dizzy
Yo, what is occurring with this man's face?
He looks normal.
He's like a fucking. He's like a frog.
Let's see.
Oh, he's
Do you
an
not
expounder.
see what I'm talking
Oh,
about?
I know
He's
exactly
an
who this
expounder.
is. I know exactly who this is. There's some videos of him. There's some videos of him and that shit. Bro, you can like really fuck yourself up doing this. There's some people that have like some permanent shit going on with them because of this.
Yo,
can he
that
do
is such
that?
a crazy. That looks so impossible.
Because literally his nose raises. Do you think he has really big, like his lips are like they go further back up than most people's lips do?
I don't know.
I almost
man.
feel
This
like
is one of the scariest.
I almost
things
feel
I've
like
ever-
we
this is
watched-
a fucking creepypasta.
a clip of somebody doing this.
We've definitely
I have,
watched
like,
a clip of this. We've definitely seen a clip of this
Because
I've brought
like
this up
I have very full
Yeah.
cheeks, right? And even when I do it, my nose doesn't raise. His nose raises when he does that.
No, it's crazy, dude.
That is so out of pocket in every single. Like, how do you do this?
I mean, he's clearly
just
good.
like
He's clearly good though.
It's just like
I
imagine
mean,
how much cum
yeah.
he can hold in his mouth, you know?
What kind of fucking?
He's like a
What
chipmunk.
kind of fuckery? What kind of fucking? Imagine how much cum this dude can hold in his mouth.
Yeah.
Yo, this
I
guy's
mean,
got
imagine.
a loose. He's got a loose maw, though. You know what I mean? Like that's the loosest
Yeah.
fucking. That's the
Like, look at this
loosest
picture
mouth
of
in
him.
the
He's
history of
clearly the cum king. Like, what? Look at this picture of him.
the cum king.
He's like,
He has
He's like the cum
he has
king.
squirrel-like cheeks.
That's
He's
insane.
got-
man.
like he packs it full of cum and then he can just slowly drink it throughout the day.
Anyway,
Shut the
anyway,
fuck
good
up.
ruining the
sustenance.
upholstery of a Ford F-150 with the boys. When you get caught between the cum
Let's
and the
go.
dude and some dude's penis, I know it's gay shit, but it's true. Okay. Johnny Silvercock, Cyphergraph, Sweeney with the eeny weeny peeny, Elmo found dead in New York City apartment. And I think it's kind of bussin'. I think it's kind of cap that the dreams in which I'm dying are the ones that kind of slap.
Damn.
That's pretty good.
Oh, he's
It's not
Afro-Cuban.
a gay. It's not a gay cover, but it's the idea of Mad World. That's awesome. I think it's kind of bussin'. I think it's kinda cap. The dreams in which I'm dying are the ones that kinda slap. So stupid. Hunter Dubois, the dog father. Carl, get a glass. I want to see it, Carl. Take the glass from the walker's corpse before I squirt. Take it. Sweeney, lick my weenie. The cum flows white on the bed sheets tonight. Not a straight man to be here. A kingdom of penetration. And it looks like I'm the queen. Bro, same. The everlasting gaze. Back the tank of cum. Caucasian container. The Cracker Barrel for gays. Donald Trump burping on Dom's clit. Oh, no. Do Christian girls squirt holy water? I don't like this. I don't like this lore that we've created. Dan, hold her tighter. She's a fighter. Snyder. King Kong's Ding Dong wrote in. Black people is actually short for basketball people. I'm sorry, Sween. I thought that phrase independently. She Pipkin on my Pippa. Possum. El Gog. Average clit energy. I couldn't even edge. I just busted. Just the hard R. Star Coffee on Twitch. Bitch. She Shinzo. On my doohickey till it abe. Choked to death by Aubrey Plaza's thighs. Been blowing lots of guys, living in a gay man's paradise, taking dongs of every size, living in a gay man's paradise. Transfem gremlin, exposing people with lactose intolerance to 90 million rotogens of ionizing radiation. Yush, not Vinpen, the angelic DM, so here I am, blowing every man I can. I'm fucking every man, pretending I'm a homo man. DJ Khaled voice, DJ Cumsock.
DJ Comsock.
That's so stupid.
I like it.
Craig the Canadian. Friendly reminder, Kevin Sorbo, star of Christian media, like God's Not Dead, voiced Hercules in God of War 3. God of War 3. Yeah,
he was also Hercules in the Hercules show.
He's also literally Hercules, yeah. So that makes sense. I mean, even if he does suck,
Homo,
that's just kind of
Sorbo.
Even if that does kind of cool, even if that does kind of suck, that's pretty cool. That's like a neat kind of thing. It's your boy Shawnee D, little big dick nuts. little dick big nuts. I fucking reversed it. Daily Wire present Matt Walsh's What is a Black? Ben & Jerry's Funky Monkey, proud owner of 12 Gauge Chili Straw. The Roman Empire is Chris and Sweeney's safe space argument. Oh, my Roman. You think about our space argument once a week? Hell yeah, dude. Love it. Gay Sinatra be like, start spreading your cheeks. I'm fucking your ass. Start spreading your cheeks.
I'm fucking see your you ass. Fart and piss my dick in your butt.
I wish I had a voice that could lend itself well to that. Because I would ruin so many songs with that shit.
Spreading them cheeks. We fucking today.
Fucking your ass.
Fucking your ass.
I want to see you fart and piss.
I want my face inside of it. Your ass, your ass. With like fucking actual Sinatra big band in the background.
Fucking somebody. Fucking somebody.
Frank Sinatra motorboating an open colon is crazy. We gotta move on.
Bananas.
Open colon.
He pulled your colon out your fucking asshole. He opens
so
your cheeks,
wild.
digs in, pulls out your colon, and just starts.
He's holding it open like people lock their screen doors with like a pole. He's
spreading it open and he put his foot there to jam it as it's foot and elbow, so he just can't close and he takes your colon out. The idea of Frank Sinatra having his foot on the rectum and left end of your rectum and the right end of your rectum, prying it open, foot and elbow, and then
it's like
dig it inside of your cavernous asshole.
You know that image of Willem Dafoe
when he's like this,
where he's like that.
Derek, at this moment, edit that image of Willem Dafoe in.
No,
when he's
don't do
standing
that.
wide.
Everybody knows what image we're talking about. It's the image of Willem Dafoe standing like a pair of tongs.
Yeah.
All right. Oh man, that really took me out. 3XO and the Japanese skin professor whose suitcase of Yakuza hides was stolen in Chicago. Burping, stroking, smoking, joking. Emoticons going like this. Keith David, homeless drip, MH, Lord of Homeless Drip. If you get put on Santa's nice list, he'll show you his mistletoes. MFFAG, I think tits are lame. Vagina walls don't thrill me at all. So tell me, why shouldn't it be true? I get dick out of dudes.
I recognize that, but not really.
That's
MF
real
Doom, I
fella
think.
right there.
But I don't know what song it is. Obi-Wan shall blow me. Kremlin to Gremlin. That's it. I'm really gonna do it this time. Deeth Cavid. She spread it and let me take a sniff of that mahi. Fucking police coming hard as I thrust and pound. Avi, Marge's unburped clit. Halo 2, blow me away to, and only the gayest will survive. Need the homos who bust inside. I am gay against the wall. So stupid. Oh, God. Wage Slay 583, a sad guy from Michigan, down bad for a helicopter dick emoticon, so I can see Chris go. Emoticons going like this. The Papini Brothers Emporium has a celebrity shout-out video for the 200th episode coming. Donk Donkerson. That level 5 pussy got me gooped up for real, no cap on God.
No God on cat, bro.
No God on cat. We gotta get that. We gotta get that hat made at least.
There's no God on cat.
On cap.
You gotta. You gotta pay the troll soul to get in the boy's hole. Gade sick. Shaggy using 2% of his power to grant himself the N-word pass. Kid Cudi. I'm on the pursuit of fat penis, and I know everything that's long ain't always gonna be throbbing. Snark Tank snitch
not
bitches need to stop telling on me to Daddy Colin. Zeef Queef. If I were a gay man with a femboy or two. A mean lesbian. Gumball's voice actor calling Dream the F slur. Sadman.gov. John Strickland. Do your balls hang low? Can they gobble down my throat? Is the cum thick as rice, or is it sweet? Is it sweet or is it spice? Merck's 1889. That Benjamin button make my cone of vision shrink steady.
Jesus
What?
Christ.
I don't even know what that fucking. That is beyond my even.
That sounds like Dracula flow, dude.
Yeah, it does, but like I just he said that Benjamin button.
Fuck it, I ate the op. Fuck it, I ate it.
The first Church of Keith David featuring Paul Joseph Watson's massive fist waffle stomping his shit down the sink drain. Videos of white kids screaming the N-word pass at their classmates. Pre-Roz, Blake896, crypto scammer and YouTube sensation Logan Paul winning the United States champion at the WWE Crown Jewel. Let the buttholes hit the cock. Let the buttholes hit the cock. Let the buttholes hit the cock. Let the buttholes hit the cock.
That's so stupid.
Let the buttholes hit the cock, man.
No, I think it's better like put the penis in my hole or something.
No one's coming to me. 2, no one's coming to me. I really want some jizz. 3, I really want some jizz. 3, I really want some jizz.
Come.
Everybody's about to bust. Everybody about to bust. Everybody's about to.
Coming again in your rear end. Here we go. Now 1. Come all over me. 2. Come all over me. 3. Come all over me. 4. Come all over me. 1.
I really want some jizz. I really want some jizz. I really want some jizz. God.
I love that. It's real.
Well, I feel
right. It's.
How easy would that be to write?
It would be so easy.
We just did it.
All
we have to do is just review. All we have to do is just rewind this and be like, all right, cool. We got most of the song.
we'll cut this out. How fucked up would that be? We cut this out, and it's like, here's your extra ammo. We're gonna write fucking.
That's crazy. And we just post the end
30
part of
seconds.
this, and then that's the extra ammo.
We should do that for April. We should do that for April Fools.
Yeah, that'd be good.
We can still record a real
April
one. But
Fool,
like,
this
have,
should
like,
be
this
audio of us just beating our dicks, and then we should post that as the fucking extra ammo.
That's great. That's nuts.
Get it?
That's a crazy. I really have been thinking about this sincerely. I really want to do that radio thing. Like, I really want to do that. Like, where we do where we kind of do a whole hour of radio where we pick songs that we like, and then we have like interstitials of like fake, almost like do our best to make what a Grand Theft Auto radio station would be like, but just for us, and just like an hour or 30 minutes worth. I feel like it'd be so fun. But
I like that.
We could do it.
Everybody,
for sure.
welcome back to Snark FM. Welcome back to Snark FM. We got Danger Kingston here and Cummy Chris. I don't know.
Cummy Chris and Danger Derek.
I'd wanna like write it and have like. I'd want to write it and have like other like YouTubers like come in as like we're interviewing the famous author of Come Inside Yourself, not in your loved ones, or like whatever the fuck, and then we'll have like I don't know Jack's phones be like thanks for having me on. I'd love to and like all these. It would be such a fun.
I have a
idea.
perfect one. I have a perfect one. It'd be like, welcome back to Negroes and the Spig. Hey guys, what's going on today? Back on 96.1.
Yeah, exactly. 96.1
Snark FM.
Yeah. Snark FM. Exactly.
Snark
dude.
FM.
It would be so fun. We could have all these like bits with like we could collaborate with like literally everybody. You know,
That would
like
be
everybody
fun.
could be a part
That
of
would
it
be fun
for no
because
reason.
we could put a lot of
awesome.
work into something cool, like something really genuinely awesome.
Yeah.
Fake
I
radio.
would. I'd
could
be
not.
happy. I would be
That's
more than
super
happy
awesome.
to. I would be totally more than happy to just edit all that and even just write. It just seems fun. Especially because there's no video involved, so it's just like all audio, and you could really fuck with it and really get a lot of value out of it.
And we can have our friends. We can have our friends come on and truly be as hilarious as they want. Because it's a radio, so they can be anybody they want to be. So you just pick a character, and then you come on and be like, someone could be a used puppy salesman. Someone could be freaking trying to sell you some insane shit.
What I want is to have so much of it, like at least an hour's worth of like music, and then our interstitials that we could play it for an hour in you could play it in your car, and people will be convinced that it's like a real.
It's like an actual radio station.
a
That'd
real
be so
radio
fucking
station.
sick, dude.
That'd be amazing.
I'm like
you know how
weirdly
they have
obsessed with
those
this idea.
bumpers. You know they have those bumpers
Yeah.
where it's a bunch of like mixed sounds. Like,
Oh yeah.
So this is Snark FM. You know, just to make it sound like it's a real
This is
radio
Snark
station.
FM, and it's like Peter. Peter. we'll have all these
We
like
have
fucking
Shot
sound
Uncle
bites.
Ben.
Shot Uncle Ben. We'll have like it would be so fucking fun.
Oh, it'd be a bunch of my laughs. It'd be like various versions of my laugh. You press up.
Yeah,
Peter,
I'm working
I
on
go
it.
home.
I'm working on it.
Well, yeah, it'll be fun.
Yeah, that'd be great.
I might even just
We should
whip
do
up
that.
FM.
I might whip up just like a test thing today. Just to
Fake
see.
ads, dude.
Anyway,
Fake ads.
yeah, fake ads. Oh, dude, yeah, totally.
Ads for booty boys, booty boys.
Oh my god. Oh yeah, we can get like hot. We can get like a chick
Mick,
with
we
a
could get Mick to do it because Mick has like a perfect like advertiser like voice acting.
He
kind of.
does.
Like he can nail that shit. Yeah,
Dude,
I'm set on
shit-
this. I'm
Just
set on
force
it.
him to
that
do
shit.
it.
I'll
that
write
shit
it out.
rules. Yeah. Let's go.
You know what you guys should do? You should give me like a list of genuinely like you should give me like a list of like 15 songs that you would want like just songs that you like or know that you'd have like something just anything that would go in it, and you send me that list like later today or like something, and I'll like get to work on like doing like a
Yeah. I
That
can do
sounds
that.
figuring
dope.
it out because I want to do it. I
Yeah.
just think it sounds fun. Even though it would be
Yeah, I'll put a
copyrighted
playlist together on
immediately, it would
Spotify,
make-
and then I'll,
it would make no fucking money. It would make no money at all because it would be immediately copyright struck. But I'm okay with that. I'm totally fine with that.
Yeah, it should be good. Y'all
We'll
niggas
do-
can
we'll-
donate. Fuck you. You can donate.
Yeah.
Give
we'll
us
put it
more
we'll put it
money.
you know what? We'll put it on. We'll put it on YouTube, but we'll put it up for patrons. I think that's
Yeah.
That's a
I
great
like it.
idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, why not? Let's do it. Fuck yeah.
Anyway,
Finish these
That
songs. I gotta
aside.
piss. Finish your goddamn name.
just all right.
I'm not gonna piss on my wall. I'm not gonna piss on my wall and have splashback get on my computer. I pee hard.
For the final episode, when we have Keith David on, you're doing that. For the final
when we
episode.
have Keith David on, I'm gonna take my dick out and show it to him. I'm just gonna stand up and show Keith David my dick.
Dude, I can't. You do it. You pull your fucking shirt up.
I can't imagine this reaction.
What the
What are
hell?
you doing?
I've never been so.
Why are you showing me your penis?
I've never been so disappointed in my goddamn life, boy. You've had me come on here asking me time and time again to be on this goddamn show. I come in, you show me a fucking penis. You are out of your fucking mind, boy.
Erected penis.
Hard as
you're actually
shit,
getting pretty.
bro.
Why are you
You're
so
actually-
hard?
You're throbbing. You're actually getting pretty good at. You're actually getting pretty good at that Keith David impression. Actually, like that actually sounds
Yeah,
more
it's
and more
pretty
like
good.
him the more you do it.
I can only do the yelling thing when he does the yell, like the Ramirez, Private Island.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
that's it. I can't do his normal talking voice.
Yeah, like I can
kill
do
that.
like
I'm so
that's like most
hard. I'm
impressions
about
that I
to
can
fall
do.
down.
Most impressions that I can do are like I can do a really good Matthew Broderick, but only a really good Matthew Broderick in pain. Like that's all I can do.
In pain.
Yeah.
Like after he's like crashed his car after like hitting like several people. and
Yeah,
shit.
Right after,
after
right after
Inspector-
killing that woman. Right after
Yeah.
After killing
Yeah.
several people and crashing his car, you can do a good impression. Got it.
Yeah.
Inspector Gadget. Fighting
I can do an
crime.
impression. I think I can do an impression of absolutely everybody on Earth, but being hurt.
Being,
I think I can do it.
that's good. Do
Yeah.
do Keith David being hurt. Stupid.
I'm fucking having a moment. I'm fucking reeing right now. I gotta calm down.
Finish the list.
This is why. Finish it. Alright, this is why you got. This is why. Finish it. This is why you gotta. This is why you gotta stick around for the credits, man. This is why people who skip the credits they miss out on a lot.
You really,
All right,
for
let's
this
finish this
podcast,
list
you
up.
really have to stick around for the credits. Like, I kid you not, the credits are always where shit gets the most bananas.
It's when it gets insane.
It gets the most.
Oh, I'm sweating.
All right, it's real. Hector's rectum is real. Little dish rag. Come on my peen. Alaskan oil filled trash. Texas tater salad. My body's a machine that turns piss into more piss. I'm Dr. Roxo, the rock and roll clown. I do cocaine. Sue Hulk. Tickle my ass here is Nikki Ziggy. The locust. What? The locust that fucked the Boltok pistol hole in Maria's head. Holy hell.
Damn.
I mean, that head is gone, to be fair. Like, there's no hole in that head. The Boltok
Yeah.
pistol is so unreasonably powerful. So there's no hole there to be seen.
That gun,
Yeah, dude,
that
it has
gun,
kickback for those guys. Imagine. Like,
guys, do you understand the size of
I
that
thought of
gun? Have you looked at the size of that fucking gun? That gun is a massive pistol. It's the size of a book bag for a little kid. That pistol is
Yeah.
the size of a kid's book bag.
That pistol is the size of my ultra-wide monitor. It's insane. A roughly human-shaped pile of red flags, duck penis. Jackson DuPont, badly brave, hugger Derek, duck cunt. Goliath
Nice.
voice, I've been denied everything, even my cum. Aetherian, Progerian Hunter. Flying bacon with my shirt off. Oh, frying bacon with my shirt off. That's mental. That's like...
That's someone that likes to be hurt.
not smart.
If you
That's someone that
if you fry bacon with your pants off, that's crazier though. That's crazy. Your dick
especially
right
if you're
up
tall.
against it too.
If you're like really tall
and
too.
you're really tall, you're like, yeah.
right on your dick.
Every fucking
I'm gonna
scorch
fry-
you get a little harder, bro.
You just throw a little bit of water too in the pan too. You just throw a little bit of water in.
Purpose.
I'm about to go in my kitchen right now and fry bacon completely naked, just to prove
That's
that
cool.
I'm hard and cool. You know?
Anyway.
You'll be something. You'll be fucking.
I'll look like a fucking Dalmatian. Probably.
Have you guys seen the memes of the guys like me breaking into McDonald's and dipping my balls in the fryer? And it's just a bunch of memes, people just dunking their ball sacks in a fucking French fry machine. And it's like, what is wrong with people?
God bless.
Sometimes you got to do it. Sometimes you got to crisp them up a little bit. They get cold.
You gotta for presentation.
That is true.
You're like, hey, dude, mind if I stop by your job? I got a girl coming over. I gotta fry my nutsack a little bit so it looks cool. And he's like, yeah, dude, swing by at like 7:30. That's like we're not in peak anymore.
Yeah. Imagine that being a completely understandable thing to experience.
You're just at work, like making your sandwiches, and you're like, what the fuck is this guy? Yo, what is he doing? He's frying his balls.
Yo, where's John? Where the fuck is John? I thought John was supposed to be here. He's like, he's off. John's in the back frying his mustache or frying his nutsack, and he's got a date tonight. That's why he's doing it.
Okay, I'm good. Ooh.
This fucking asshole just taking it like it's a fucking tattoo.
Just
it's fucking
grease popping left and right. It's like, yo, dude, get your balls out. I'm not done yet.
It's fucking great. It's fucking crazy. All right,
fucking work.
It's his nutsack.
Sad as shit. Just
that
working
he's in
still.
there that long, dude. And when he takes out it's not even fried that much. It's not even that much of like cooked. It's like, yo,
it's resilient,
you
man.
got some strong balls.
Last two names, literally last two. Melphis
Let's
won
go,
the Anchorage crowd,
let's go.
Enjoying the view from the Dealey Plaza on the 6th floor, and as always, rounding out our list, the king of haphazard. Merry Christmas to everybody, all of you homeless people out there. We hope you're doing well. Hope you have a good Christmas. I hope you get your toy or your fucking, whatever the fuck you want. I hope you get it. If you're a homeless person and you want a home, I hope you don't get it because that means you'd no longer be a fan of us. So
True.
I hope nothing goes too well for everybody. But
hope you go
in the spirit of the
less
holidays,
homeless somehow.
Yeah, in the spirit of the holidays, Merry Christmas. We appreciate you. We'll catch you next episode for New Year's. What?
Before we leave,
What is this guy doing?
I stand up when I show Keith David my hard dick. I just come right at the camera. I come right at the camera.
Oh, Keith, before we leave, and then you just bust. That's the last episode.
That would be crazy if we had a full on. So here, let me set the stage. We have a full on normal episode of the Snark Tank with Keith David. We're interviewing, we're asking him all these questions, we're hearing about all these fascinating times from Gargoyle, Halo, Mass Effect, all these famous roles. We spend an hour and a half talking to him, and at the end, Casey goes, "Wait, before we go." Lifts his shirt up with a hard penis, comes on command at the camera, and that's it.
And it just perfectly hits the webcam in the lens. I can hear. What the hell was that?
Well, and that's how the podcast ends. That is it. That's the final podcast. We don't ever continue. We don't ever pick up the Snark Tank again from there. We all go our own separate ways.
Oh yeah, that's it.
We refuse to talk about it.
We've already said once we get Keith David, we're done.
There's never video proof of us all being in the same room again together. Like it's just it. That's
if we ever somehow convince Keith David to come on this travesty of a program, which after today I can't even imagine how that would even be the case. But then we would have to end the Snark Tank. If we wanted to keep doing stuff, we would have to make a whole new show.
We don't even make a new show. That's it. We accept that over.
If we wanted to continue, we would have to be like, damn, the Snark Tank is gone. We fulfilled the goal of the Snark Tank. That was the whole point, is to get Keith David on the show. So now we've got to do fucking, I don't know.
The idea of somebody standing up with a hard dick with their shirt up and coming at the camera is crazy.
Yeah, I like you've been jerking off the entire time, just edging.
But I've been really in the conversation, like really talking like that.
Yeah, you couldn't even tell. Like you could even, like he's probably in retrospect he'd be impressed. How the hell they pull that off? Like
the idea.
I've seen some wild shit in my day.
The idea of just. you're cranking it, and you're like, so when you were on this, when you were approached for the Halo series, what did you think that it would last? Like, did you think that was something that was going to be iconic for a lot of people?
Like the character of the Arbiter, right? Understanding the story you had, did you know what you were doing with the kind of character you were creating? Because granted, a lot of people do love Master Chief, but Arbiter is. You're right. Just stand up.
Oh yeah. Yeah, in our scenario, you fucking would fail edge and you would come too fast.
Nah, bro, I'm a precise comer. I'm a very precise comer, bro.
All right,
I've hit every woman I've wanted in the eye. I'm a precise comer. If I aim for the eyes, get hit in the eyes, bro. That's it.
All right, listen. Let's get the let's
3 hours, man. Jesus Christ.
Right, 3 hours.
Merry Christmas.
God fucking damn it. We're supposed to do, guys, for reference.
Yeah.
This is supposed to be an hour and a half podcast. This is supposed to be.
Totally.
No, well, I mean, it's whatever. It's Christmas, whatever. Like it's. I figured.
Yeah, Merry Christmas.
If there was ever an appropriate time to have a long episode, why not today? So Merry Christmas, everybody. Get the fuck out of here. Get out of here. Go. Get the fuck out of here.
Shut the fuck up,
get
niggas.
Out. What are you fucking doing? Get out. Leave. Go.